I'm George.
And I'm Bob. We're the Shipping Goblins from Beetle and Grips. Today, we're going to talk about the amazing Map Vault Collection. And with the Map Vault Collection, you get a bunch of gorgeous two-sided maps, all scaled for standard minis.
Yeah, get yours now for the Map Vault Collection from Beetle and Grim, and all the players at your table will be revved up and hyper because the only thing they'll be able to say is...
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Zoinks!
Yeah, do it again.
Zoinks!
Hello?
Who do you think you are?
Yes, Mr. Lillard.
You're just some common.
Yes, sir.
You can't just go off and use my
It's your
voice
thing.
like that. I have rights.
Completely. We just thought...
Me?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take this right to
yes, sir.
Beetle. Hey, Grim.
Thank you, sir.
What happened?
Matthew Lillard watches our show!
Zoinks!
Double
With demons, going to hell is the only way to get redemption. 5 adventures, 1 mission. This spring, join us as we descend into Avernus, the first layer of hell. Action, fire, brimstone. If you make a deal with the devil, you better be prepared to dance. Band of Badgers, Descent into Avernus, coming this May.
And hello, are we on? Are we on? Do we have the internet? Do we have the power? I think we do. I think we do. We're going to go with that anyway until Steve says we are.
We are on.
We are on. Okay.
We have sound.
We have sound. We have
Yes,
motion.
we have sound.
We just put another penny in the meter. Here we go. So, hello and welcome to Band. It's always a bit of a trial. Just at this, like the first 10-15 seconds. Are we? Aren't we? We don't know. Very Schroeder dinner. Right. Hello. Welcome to Band of Badgers. I'm Dave, your GM for this evening, and this is Rise of the Runelords by Paizo. And these are, of course, my beautiful players. How you doing, players?
Hello. All good?
Hello.
Good. Was that it?
Jeff is feeling great.
Was-
Been a week, has it, Jeff?
He didn't do his usual say hello, players.
I did. I said these are my beautiful
How
players.
you doing, players? You said.
Say hello. There you go. Right. And now, welcome to our special guest player this week. This is, of course, Chris London, all the way from Dwarven Forge in New York, as we just found out.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, we're good. We've been chatting for an hour, so we just had a minor panic, but hey, we're back.
I like that you said, of course, as though I'm somebody everybody should know.
You should.
Yes, definitely.
You should. Everyone should get to know the Dwarven Forge team, because we are a couple. Was it last week? Was it last week or the week before?
It was last Monday. Yeah.
Erin. So Erin the hamster was on. Hi Erin, if you're watching. If not, we'll come and raid you soon. But thank you as always to Beetle and Grimm's. They don't just sponsor this. Whatchamacallit, they do the whole channel, not just this particular show. Thank you to all of our various supporters as well. We have all kinds of companies that we work with, and in the box below me you'll find some discounts for whatever it is that they produce. So save yourself a few quid. Go and check those out. Now, most of all, a big, huge thank you to you for watching, because without you, we'd just be talking to cameras. or an empty showroom. Oh, I don't know, but thank you for watching anyway. Now, if you would like to support us, you can. We're on Twitch, Channel Prime subscription things. Just some people have already done it. Just do what they did. I don't know what buttons to press. I'm on this side of the camera. But it means that we can make new content. It means that we can do things like Mondays, we have the Great British Brush Off. Tuesday, we have Vazen. Thursday, today, is Runelords. Saturday is our brand new series, Descent into Avernus. It's run by Joe, who did our Tomb of Annihilation, Dungeons & Dragons, Descent into Avernus. Check it out, episode 1. Episode 0, if you're into session zeros, is already on our YouTube channel. So please go and check that out. Not right now, after you've watched this. And
some familiar faces in that one.
Yeah, definitely some new as well, some new faces.
Some new.
And on Sunday, we have our War Badger series. Now, this is to do with 40k, Warhammer 40k. And this Sunday, Joe is in chat at the moment. He's watching us. We're hopefully going to be doing a game. So it's not just Warhammer 40k painting, but once we've done the painting, we're also doing the game. So do check that out this Sunday afternoon. But coming soon, this time next Friday, our brand new Starfinder series will launch by Paizo. Helmed by, I was going to say, we did this the other day, captained by Steve, but actually not, because Sharon is going to be our captain in the game, but Steve is going to be our GM for that one. So we're looking forward to it. Steve just nods because
all under control.
You can't show too much excitement outwardly.
It's going to be nothing like Red Dwarf at all.
There's the mild panic. Definitely not Red Dwarf.
The lawyers round.
It's Monty Python in space. Now, if you don't know what Band of Badges is all about, we support writers, artists, designers, creators all over the world. We've had people from Europe, Italy, Germany, all sides of America and bits in between, and even Australia. If you have a product that's kind of TTRPG related and you would like it to appear on here and you would like to come with it, do get in touch and we will do what's called the Badger Bump, and we will start networking you across all of the companies that we work with. And also, if you would like to come and play with us, even if you don't have a product, it doesn't matter. If you want to come and play, get in touch with our Discord community. Come along, find out. We've got some new games coming. We're doing some one-shots. We're doing some charity fundraisers. I'm losing my voice already. Get in touch via that, and we'll give you a seat at the table. Okay? Cool.
I'm getting distracted by Chris doing his best James Bond villain impression.
I am special today. You're supposed to save that to the middle. But anyway, so thank you, players. How are we all doing? All doing good? Yep. You can talk now. It's over to you. You can.
This will be fine. Nothing bad will happen at all. It's not like there's a random disembodied voice in the darkness.
It's not like the guests have any track record of being villains or anything.
No, not at all.
Yeah, history's taught us anything. It's that the guests are always ultra reliable, friendly, and always on our side.
Yeah.
That's a great poker face.
Don't know what they mean.
Now, so if you caught last week's episode, our heroes. What's happened recently is the coastal town of Sandpoint has been under attack. It was raided by an army of stone giants and a dragon. And our heroes kind of turned up a little bit late, but managed to fend off the giants. And then decided to take the fight to the giants. And then at the end of that, they came back to Sandpoint quite victoriously. They have been named the champions of Sandpoint. And during the late night celebrations, a sinkhole opened up in town. Some of the town guards went down, and a very good character called Bryson joined our intrepid heroes and went underground into the tunnels below, where the heroes found the shrine to Lamashtu. Now, while they were down there, they met someone called the Scribbler, a really poor Batman villain, but hey, the Scribbler. And you found a number of like poetry lines written in amongst all the gibberish and prayers to the Mashtu. You found those, and you eventually found what Bryson went down there to find, which was his brother. Unfortunately, his brother's team were all dismembered and torn apart and fed to basically the Hellhounds, the Hounds of Lamashtu. While Bryson's brother, Jared, was found broken, smashed, but dead. And based on their family belief, they didn't want you to raise him. So Bryson carries Jared's body back up to the dungeon, and as you slowly follow behind, you reach back to the entrance of the sinkhole, and you find Professor Quint at the top. What would you like to do?
Professor, how fortuitous that you are here.
Indeed, it did. It must have been foretold. Who knew? But anyway, I saw this was down there, and yes, I was listening in on something. I had the old listening spells. But what's happening, Elias?
Well, we've discovered another tomb to the Mashtu belief standpoint. Of course, you already know about the one we found earlier beneath the glassworks. This seems to be an extension of the area, maybe. There are lots of collapsed tunnels that maybe cut this area off.
Yes.
But yes, another temple, and a strange creature down there. He called himself the Scribbler.
Scribbler.
And, well, we found these notes, and I'll hand over the pieces of the poem that we wrote down.
Okay, let's take a look if this works. Let's take a look. Indeed. Look, we've got a new toy, everybody. Look. Ooh, look. We've got things going on. So those of you who can see this, it's on Twitch. There we go. Nice. Well, tell me, what is it?
It appears to be a riddle or a clue of sorts on how we might access Zinshalas and Runeforge.
Okay, well, that's what do you want to do? We can't do it here. Look.
Let's retire to the pub. That's always a good measure.
I'm not going to the pub. What are you, a barbarian? Look, we've got wine. We've got wine in my studies. Look, this is my bodyguard, Brony. Brony, come on. Look, take this. Take whatever they need. Let's go.
What does Brony look like, Dave?
What does Brony look like, Chris?
Ooh.
From around the corner of some magical dimension where you have not seen him until now, steps out a very, very muscular gnome, short in stature, but with very, very tanned olive skin, dark hair, and wild eyes, and just biceps larger than his head.
Sounds like Tokus' sort of guy.
Yeah. As he comes out, he looks everybody up and down. About how tall is everybody?
3 foot.
3 foot. Okay.
6'4".
4.
5.5 foot.
Okay.
Then Harrison's probably 6 foot as well.
Yeah, I think he's just 6'1" or 2, something like that.
Is that with the glove or without the glove?
Yeah, without. With his shoe gloves.
Perfect.
Well met, Bronny. It's nice to see a fellow gnome. How did you arrive at Sandpoint?
As he looks Yelena and Tolkis like up and down. What was?
Yeah, Yelena is right.
Yeah, go on.
Yelena's right. Excellent. Yeah. As he looks up and down, you see his eyes just kind of squint a little. He looks straight at Elias. He says, "Well, I tend to go where the coin is, and well."
The coin? Where's the coin?
Oh no!
Don't set
I must
Rupp off.
apologise for Rupp. He's got a bit of a trigger word.
Oh, in Quink's pockets. I'm something of a favorite bodyguard of his. I get the job done.
Yes, he's actually been quite reliable, you know, over the years. He's actually been as tiny as he is. I'm quite remarkable. He's taken down all manner of creatures, but still can't make a decent cup of coffee. It's very strange. Yeah, I guess he just can't reach.
It's Professor. That's a funny way to judge the worthiness of a bodyguard. I don't think you want to worry about how he does coffee.
I have no need for caffeine with the amount of adrenaline that pulses through my veins on a daily basis.
Maybe you would like a sausage, my little ripped friend. Here you go. And Taucus just gives him a bag of sausages. It's good for the muscles. And then he goes...
Don't patronize me.
That's not patronizing. I respect you. You are ripped. You have my respect.
There is no need to be offended by Taucus's demeaning ways. He doesn't mean it in that fashion. Now, if Harrison had offered you some sausages, then yes, he would have totally meant to be patronising, but not Taucus. Taucus is completely innocent and open.
Yes, these sausages will put hairs on your pecs.
Yeah, they truly will.
Elena would like to sidle up to Rupp and go, I wonder why people think we're weird.
At all, right?
Speaking of which, Bronny pulls down his shirt, and there's just a jungle of dark chest hair poking out from beneath the shirt.
Oh, impressive, my friend. I think you and I will get along.
What, Brony? I keep telling you, don't do that in public. What are you doing, man? I don't pay you to do this. Come on. Right. Anyway, Elias, join me up front. Let these rabble carry your bags as usual. Let's go. Resources at my abode. Let's go. Right now.
Okay.
Well, you know what the point is.
As we're walking, let's walk and talk. Now, anyway, what do you mean?
Well, back in Murian's lair, we discovered several books that mention the place called Zinshalash, that seemed to be the capital of Old Thessalonia.
Yes, that's right. Yes, according to the books, yes, I believe so.
And as you will see on one of the lines or one of the stanzas in the poem, it mentions accessing Jinn, and it talks about the Runeforge. I have a feeling that this is a clue or a written map of sorts to follow that would allow us to access Zinshalash, because these books, they told us that the capital was protected by a mountain, the highest peak in the mountains north of Murian's lair.
Okay, well let's get this back and we can analyse this. I have all my maps and those books you brought back from that that library has proven to be very valuable. So let's see what we can do, shall we?
Okay, well let's get there as quickly as we can. I mean, as soon as we know a place to head, I can take us there.
Well, it's yes. Well, we're here, Elias. Anyway, here we go. Knock, 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 and the door opens, and you can all kind of trundle in. Right, Brony, put the coffee on. Let's go. Right. So, everybody, what do we need first? If magic bright is your desire, to old Runeforge must you retire. Okay, yes. For only 3 does wizard's art receive its due and proper start. What does that mean?
In the background,
if you
see
seek more power, then you should go to Runeforge. Sorry, Chris.
In the background, you see Bronny grinding the coffee beans with his bare hands.
Like
I just
grinding your chestnuts.
In my medical opinion, and I'm not very good with the mental stuff, but this is a classic case of overcompensation, I think.
What do you think he's overcompensating for?
Well, we won't talk about that. But it's a halfling thing. It's a short man thing. I don't know.
What could I possibly have to? What could I possibly have to? What could I possibly have to compensate for? Look at the size of my arms.
Taucus wanders over to where he's grinding the coffee and pulls out a multi-tool, and then he just like flips it, and it's got a coffee grinder in it, and he says, "Ronnie, try this. It'll make it easier. There's no need to show your strength here. We know you're strong."
Bronny takes the coffee grinder, looks at it for a moment, and then just starts crushing it in his hands.
It will not crush. It is magical.
At least you're trying.
Brony, how do you feel about doing an arm wrestling match with Taucus?
Well, now this is more my speed.
So
I do not see how that will help us solve the riddle, but if it is
And it gets the adrenaline. It gets the mind going.
Let's face it, at the end of the day, whether we self-reveal or not, this is only going one way. I teleport us somewhere, and the plan will be to wander around in the forest until we discover something.
That is the good plan. We like that plan.
I realise this is just to make me feel better, so I teleport you somewhere, and then you get your own way.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but the illusion of plan is still a plan.
No, Professor, I don't think that's going to work. Is that really what you do? I mean, come on. Anyway, so according to this, it says the Runeforge. Now, I'm sure that's been mentioned before. We have while your little monkeys are in the kitchen, I don't know what they're doing. What are you?
Monkeys?
Cup. Go in on the fourth book on the shelf there. Can you just pass me
the fourth book?
The fourth book on the shelf. What was that? Professor Elias, I swear, if your helpers ever do this, I mean, surely, it's just one book.
Piss off!
There's language on this one. Isn't he supposed to be like the holy one or something? God, dear.
Well,
Anyway.
yes, but you.
So the
Yes, Your Holiness.
Runeforge enters in. He starts flicking around for one of the books that he's got on his kind of podium area, because he loves to present to his front room. He points out that the Runeforge is the place where the wizards go to invent new magic and create new magic.
Right.
He's saying that
So
to you, Elias.
this is where new spells would come from then.
Well, exactly. Yes, that's what I've been trying to tell you. I know, Professor. You've been. You were a bit slow today. Did you have troubles down there? Did you see something harrowing?
He's asking for a magical bitch slap.
You're normally a bit more awakened than this. But anyway, the Runeforge. Yes.
Yes.
There we go. The Runeforge. Right. Anyway,
The Runeforge is being keyed with the return of the Rune Lord, and it was the Rune Lord that spoke to us through the voices of many of the residents of Sandpoint before the sinkhole opened.
Oh no.
If this Runeforge is a place where new magic is forged, then that means the Rune Lord inhabits a body made of raw magic, or is formed from raw magic.
I'm not too sure. I mean, the text I have it mentions that. It mentions that one was chosen from each background, but that would make sense. It's the Rune Lords, so say one of their chosen was sent to Runeforge to create new magic for their particular magical type.
Their school.
Yes.
And the one that this point. Sorry, we know the location of one, right?
What the Rune? Not the Runeforge. I think you. I don't think anyone's seen the Runeforge for a long time. I mean, there are suspicions it doesn't even exist on our plane of existence.
Oh. Well, I can help with that.
But then if it's... What would happen if you're on another plane of existence? Does that mean you can't come back?
No, I can come back.
No, I'm talking about them, dear boy. Them.
Oh.
So someone was in there pre-calamity. And if it's on another plane of existence, does that mean they survived?
It talks about a Runeforge gate. So they were sent to another plane of existence and held in some sort of stasis.
There's a
And
gate?
trapped. Yes. On the second line, on eastern shores of Steaming Mirror, at end of day when dusk is nearer, where seven faces silent wait encircle guards at Runeforge Gate.
Runeforge Gate.
Is it a literal gate to another plane of existence, and the Rune Lords would be released?
I don't know. It could well be. I mean, why not? I mean, Runeforge is a place to go, like a school. So if it's a school of magic where you go, then there must be a front door, a gate.
True.
Okay.
On Eastern Shores, I don't know. That doesn't make much sense to me.
Well, we surmised that it was a lake rather like a hot pool. You know, within the mountains, if it's a volcanic area, for example, you get areas where you get hot lakes, and talks about a steaming mirror that can be described as a very still lake of hot water.
My God, man, I think you're quite right. And he starts going through the various maps and stuff, and he pulls one out across the table. He says, "Yeah, I mean, this is all of Orissa, as much as we know. I mean, we're here. This is Sandpoint, as you can see, and well, you're actually quite right. The only steaming lakes is so far north up here. That'd be quite incredible."
Yeah.
Well, it talks about on frozen mountain, so a glacier.
It is. I mean, it's part of it's the lake that has the runoff from the Kodor Mountains. I mean, it's that far north. It's called Lake Stormunder.
Hey, that's not far from where I come from.
You come from Lake Stormunder?
No, I come from west of there.
Okay.
But
have you ever seen?
I have been there once when I was a child.
What did you see?
A big lake.
Well, yes.
That's all I remember. We were fishing, but there was no fish.
So what else is there? I mean, so face each stone the grace of 7 lords. One part of key each ruler hordes, if offered spells and proper prayer.
So the stones would be the foundation stones.
And prayer.
You mean from the lighthouse? And prayer to Lamashtu, yeah. Well, I've never seen magic and prayer combined. What would happen if proper magic, not divine, but arcane? What if arcane was connected to divine? Was that even possible?
Well, I can't do that. Don't think Elias can cast my spells.
No, I have no divine magic. Unless...
Does it have to be the same person? Could it not be one person casting divine spells and one casting arcane?
Well, there is tell of the Runelords used to, indeed, they used to carve their faces into the tops of mountains, just so their visage would look upon the land that they surveyed.
Sounds like they were overcompensating for something.
Oh yes, probably were. But you know, I suppose they were. Who knows? Maybe their magic was more superior. They were probably more civilized. Who knows?
The 7 faces could be the faces carved into the mountain, and that's the stones. And we offer spells and prayers to each one of those faces, and maybe then they will open or reveal where the keys are hidden. Because we need 7 keys, and there were 7 rulers.
Indeed. I think. Well, I think it's definitely a good place to start. What? I think go there. Go to the lake. See what you can see. I'm sure from there. Tell me, Bulkus, was there a? Did you ever see faces in the mountains?
Yes, there is faces in the mountains.
See, there we go! Ha ha, huzzah!
I don't remember how many, but I remember seeing one at least.
Thank you, Bulkus.
I guess one is all you need.
Yes. He is this close to getting a whipping.
A whipping? Don't whip the rub. God, dear. Oh, I said his name right. Anyway,
You're
Professor,
worse than Harrison at getting names right, and that bar is low.
Harrison, what you're pleading, man? I mean, why does he wear a glove on his head? And why only one glove?
The same question.
Bad dandruff.
Look, I suggest you leave your cleaning command with me. You can take Brony. Okay? He's more than capable. So, Brony, your task, and I will pay you for it, as always, is to guide these heroes as best you can. Protect them. And bring back anything you find, especially books. I love books. You know I love books.
All right.
Good. Okay. That's what we're going to do. So, Elias, how are you going to get that? Do you want to combine spells again? That was quite fun last time.
I can teleport us.
Whoa.
Do you have anything that will allow us to search a large area from the sky, maybe? I'm not that keen on the idea of wandering around in the mountains until we stumble across something.
That's what we usually do.
Yeah, that's our best plan.
That's normally the plan.
It usually works out as well. It's strange how that happens. Maybe we should just have random encounters and you never find anything. We should have 2 hours of walking around. Should we try that way?
Well, that's a question for Yelena and Rap as well. Do you have any spells that would allow us to search from the skies? It may make searching quicker. I mean, we might be able to see any hidden faces in the mountains from the sky much easier than the ground.
If you can name a location, I can give us the best route to it.
Lake Stormunder.
I can teleport to Lake Stormunder. That's not.
Yeah, but an actual location from the lake.
When we arrive there, could Yelena not just turn into like an eagle and survey from the sky?
Those spells don't last very long.
Not going to give us long enough.
I've got something.
Oh,
He's got sky surveying.
It's called Prying Eye.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can create this like invisible eye, but I need to prepare it.
If it's invisible, how do you know it's there?
Well, because I can see. Well, I can't really see anything while I'm using it, but I can usually see through it.
Ah, sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
I haven't been peeking at anything. Don't worry, guys.
No, it wouldn't bother me anyway. I have nothing to hide.
Okay, well, it seems like you've got a plan. You ready to go?
Yeah. I think so.
For your safety, we probably should leave.
Okay. If you're
yes.
ready, we'll depart immediately. Ronnie,
Okay,
is there
good
anything
stuff.
you need to collect?
All I need are these guns. That's probably not terminology that exists in this world.
Who cares?
What is a gun?
He's talking about his arms. He's talking about. I don't know why. He's talking about his arms.
Oh.
He does that a lot.
They call them in Riddleport. Haven't you found that, Tolkus?
Oh.
I don't know why, but whenever he raises his arm like this, there's like this bang, like you know.
It's a crack of sound.
Yeah.
He says, "Welcome to the gun show."
Okay, gather around. I'll begin casting the spell to take us to the lake. This will take 10 minutes, so please don't leave the circle.
Everyone hold hands.
That really isn't necessary, but if
No.
that's what you'd like to do, Rup, then please do.
Rup, before we go, could I have one of your pies?
Of course, and I bring out one of the magical pies from the knapsack.
Magical pie.
You have 10 minutes. That's how long it will take to cast teleport.
Yes, I only need 30 seconds to eat one of Rup's pies.
Could you put your sausages into the pie? And
Yes,
make them
that's
magical.
what I'm going to do. I have the sausages poking out the top of the pie.
It's a fruit pie.
That's okay.
Do you remember Desperate Dan in the Beano? You used to have the
Yes.
antlers digging out the pie.
So we're not holding hands?
I don't think you want to hold our hands, do you, really?
Sounded a bit needy there. Maybe, someone who is like...
Do you want to hold hands, Ronnie?
Well, if it's going to make the spell work, I mean...
Of course it is.
Go on, Chris.
All right, and make sure I'm in between Rupp and Elias.
Yeah. That's 21 points of healing.
Nice.
So, and I can also give you some gloves.
Cow pie,
if
yes.
that's not
Sean
enough.
TW, cow pie.
So that's another 17.
Oh, thank you very much. That puts me back to max. Exactly, funnily enough. Good job. Thank you, Rob.
It's alright.
So, everyone's holding hands?
Hold
Everyone's
hands.
holding hands. The spell completes. We disappear into a buzzing ball of blue energy, zapping off the many miles to the north to Lake Stormunder.
Cool. All right. You.
We appear like in Terminator.
We appear like in Terminator,
but not naked.
So if there was anyone there to see apart from the cameraman, you see this big kind of what should be a frozen lake, but has steam rivets coming off of it in different areas, and then very smaller pools of steamed water. And then you've got this vast mountain spread around. You're in the middle of nowhere, basically. It's cold. You've got these fog, icy clouds across the bottom. And I'm just trying to bring up the... Let's have a bit of that. And let's have a bit of that. So from the rocky, if you remember your maps, the rocky eastern shoreline of Lake Stormunder, the ground rises into the craggled, snow-dappled roots of a mountain called Rime, casting its long shadow over this area. Yet not all the ground here is rugged and mountainous. Several hundred feet from the lake's edge, the land suddenly levels off to create a circular hill. Rocks and tenacious shrubs poke through the scattered clumps of snow here, but they are dwarfed by the ring of 7 10-foot tall stone heads that circle the hill's edge. The faces are angled inwards towards each other, mouths agape. To the east, the sheer mountainside of Rime rises. It's icy and wind-blasted. There are 200 feet above Lear's a carving of an ancient face. Its gaping mouth is forming a large cave entrance into the mountainside. There's a 10-foot wide stairway of stone that descends from the face, from the mouth, all the way down as it kind of slowly curves down. And that's the only ledge about 50 feet to the east. Where you are from the circle is it's about 50 feet away to the start of this stone circular stairwell. So handy that, you zapped in the... Just what you need to do. This ball of energy suddenly appears and grows bigger, and then pop! You sizzle a nice little circle of snow as you melt it, and you all appear.
Convenient.
You're getting good at this, Elias.
Yes.
Yes, so it's practice.
Pinpoint.
Yeah, that always makes me ill.
You're right, right.
No, I don't like teleporting.
You shouldn't have had that pie before we left.
Oh no, that was Tulkas.
Yes.
That's why you
That's
sneak
fine.
on the pie.
What time of day is it?
It's now early breakfast. Because last night's... It all started the night before. The celebrations ended abruptly. You then went down into the sinkhole for a few hours. Fought a demon. Fought a scribbler. Fought some hellhounds. Hounds of Lamashtu. Then chit-chat and a coffee. Yep, so now it's early morning.
So we have a while to wait then, because this says at end of day when dusk is nearer.
Is it worth looking around, see what we can find out during the day?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll start walking towards the 7 heads, please.
Okay. So these are, as I said, huge heads. They've been carved to represent... Each face is different. Each is adorned slightly differently. And they are old. A lot of them are frozen. There's, heaps of snow where the wind has taken it up on some areas. Icicles hanging off noses and to eyebrows. They are a perfectly formed circle of heads facing inwards.
But only one of them has an entrance, is that right?
There's
the one above.
There's a face carved into the mountain.
Yeah.
And that is the mouth looks to be a cave entrance.
And that's separate from the 7 heads?
Yes.
Okay.
That was what was confusing me as well.
How high up are the 7 heads?
They're only about 10 foot tall, so very tall for you. They're on the ground. They're on the ground. But
Okay.
they're 7 foot, 10 foot tall, huge, giant heads.
Like Easter Island style, or
Kind of, yeah.
yeah, but more human features, kind of thing.
Yes.
Ish.
Some are ordained in tattoos carved into the statue. Some are wearing jewels or headdresses. Some have piercings. Some are male, some are female.
I'm gonna go take a look at one of the heads with the jewels on it.
Okay. The jewels are not real jewels. You get a closer look, it's like, you feel a bit down. Because that would have been a giant jewel. But it's not. It's actually just part of the same stone. Yeah.
Alright.
Do we want to go check out the mountain head first, or do you not think it's worth going there until the dusk, or whenever it was?
Well, you might as well check it out. I want to stay down here and see if I can find anything on these heads to identify which school they belong to. I have an idea.
Well, so I was just going to say, we have enough time for you to do that, and we can search down here, and then by the time you finish, we could go look at the big head, and we still have time, I believe.
Well, what I'm looking for is the rhyme talks about spells and offered prayers. I'm thinking that the spells we have to cast into these, if that's what we need to do, should be keyed to the schools that the heads represent. These heads represent the Runelords of that particular school, I would imagine. Maybe not the Runelords that are the ones we know about. They might be very even older than that. But I'm trying to find the symbol that represents that school, and I am going to guess that it's the 7 symbols that appear on the face of the medallion. And I'll get out the Sihedron medallion that I have and hold it up, and that these are the runes that we're looking for. We need to find each of these.
Okay.
So I'll slip arcane vision on so I can detect magic, and I'll start searching one of the heads.
Do they have any runes on them?
Yeah, I'll search the manual way.
Do any of the heads look like Karzog? Because we've seen a hologram of him.
Yes.
They do?
One of them does.
One of them does. Okay. No, I don't think these are older ones. That looks like Karzog.
Then
Good spot, Elena.
I'll search Karzog first and see if I can find one of those symbols from the face of the Sihedron. So I'm guessing that it represents a school of magic.
It does. So, as you walk from statue to statue, the Sihedron, as you hold it up, is normal. And then as it comes on to the one where Karzog is, the centerpiece opens up. And inside, the gem starts to glow. And you start to hear a faint hum, like an electric hum on the wind.
That better not be another rock.
Hear that?
Everyone can hear that, yeah.
Is there anything? Is there any slots or anything like that I can see on the head?
No, each head, the mouth is open.
Okay, I'll look inside the mouth. Is there anything in the mouth?
What does your magic perception do?
Well, my arcane vision allows me just to detect magic. I can just see magic as per the detect magic spell.
Okay, there is magic there.
Okay, then I will have a little search around inside. I'll make a perception check if I can, please.
Okay, roll it for me.
That's a 29.
You don't find anything. There's nothing inside the mouth. You have a feel around. There's no kind of secret compartment.
Okay.
Do you need to channel a spell through this, maybe, Elias?
Yes. What school was?
It was transmutation.
Transmutation.
Okay.
Sure, I've got some.
Uh,
Do you have Sigil?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes, I do.
well, I can do invisibility once per day.
Ooh, that's handy.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm gonna use invisibility.
Would he want to be invisible?
Sneak up on them and smack them real hard.
That sounds exactly like the brawny big arm style. Yeah.
He seems to be obsessed with arms.
It's my family name. It's just
Got
tradition.
any arms?
Don't insult the clan, Tulkas. Small folk like to stick together.
But
Everybody has their thing, you know. Ours are big arms.
ah, I see. I get you now.
And ours are thistly feet. Mine one's Thistlefoot, so.
Oh, I noticed your feet was this
That
thing.
sounds uncomfortable.
It
Rob.
does sound quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, you might want to have that looked at.
I mean, you're a doctor. Do you just treat your own feet?
Yes.
Yes.
It'd be really bad practice if you didn't. I'm not sure you'd get many patients.
Yeah, we'll look over it. It's fine. I'm usually barefoot anyway, but I've got these nice magical boots on that.
They are
So-
nice.
They are. You want to cast some sigil?
Yes, I'll cast sigil into the mouth, please.
Okay.
There wasn't any like thing on it where you could slot a Sahedron, was there?
Or
Anything?
in the mouth?
No, I couldn't find anything when I did
No.
my search. No.
Okay, so you cast sigil.
Yeah, is there some way I can channel it? It's gone all blurry. Is there some way I can channel it?
I thought I was pissed for a minute.
He's been steaming up the lens. Look.
I might as well
Steaming up
just
the
take my
lens.
glasses off.
Oh, there you go. I'm in focus now.
Everything's out of focus.
There you go, there you go, there you go. You got it
You're
back.
in, you're back.
Hey.
Kind of feel like I'm missing out not having glasses.
You're really not.
No, you're really not. It's really annoying.
Just wait 20 years, it'll be fine.
I would wake
Yeah.
up in the morning and
To
be
be
able
fair-
to just open my eyes and see.
To be fair, I'm supposed to have glasses. They just broke 10 years ago and I never got them replaced.
I wish I could do that.
Dangerous game to play.
Right, is there somewhere I can cast it through the medallion into the mouth?
You can cast it into the mouth. You could kind of do it that way.
I'll just cast it directly into the mouth.
Okay. What type of magic is it?
It's transmutation.
Okay. As you cast sigil into the gaping mouth of Kozog, you hear a kind of that electric buzz again starts to get louder, and then you see just suddenly out of nowhere a key appears, a golden key.
You got something you don't see every day.
I pick the golden key up.
Can I cast message into the mouth?
Yep. On the skull or
On that one, yeah.
Yep.
So that's illusion.
on a different skull.
No,
Or
on the same one. The
Yep.
same one.
Okay, so
Nothing.
you cast it.
Yeah.
Nothing else happens.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so we need to work out what schools the other heads are related to.
Trial and error.
So illusion, I've got right. An enchantment, I've got lust.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be much help here. I was never really one for skull.
We will keep guard.
Who has the highest perception?
Well,
probably not me.
25.
Yeah, definitely not me then.
Go on 25, go on 25, go on 25, go on 25, 22, 23, that would be 25. 25 is the highest?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, right. So as you're casting that spell and kind of waiting for something to happen, staring at this giant skull in front of you, just kind of, it catches your eye just off to the side, up the mountain where the big mountain face is carved up there. You see that where the mouth opening is, there's like a lip of, not a literal lip, just a lip of rock and stones and crag. And you see something almost kind of, there's, if that's the crag, something kind of come up and over. And you just see that slight movement of this thing moving.
Okay. I just go, do you see that?
What?
And then that wasn't there before, the lip. And I start to go over to it.
It's high up at the stairs. It's, you know.
Did
the big
did
skull,
it happen
not the little skull.
when Elias did his magic?
Yeah, that one. It's probably to do with might be a slot. I don't know.
An opening, something.
In the mountain, the face that's in the mountain where Rupp has seen something move, he's pointed up and then told you all. As you look up, you see, you're not quite sure what you see. You see something that appears to be looking down at you, something very long, almost reflective in the white on white. Everything is just snowing, everything is cloudy, everything's white everywhere. And it's only on this outcropping that you see. And then from its sides, it explodes with like these huge wings, just crack open. And what you hear on the air is literally like an ice crack. If you've ever heard the ice crack on a lake, it's that kind of crack. And you see bits of ice drop off of these huge, gigantic wings. And in fact, what you see...
Oh, that's not good.
Some sort of poor frozen Pegasus.
Yes.
It's a frozen bunny with wings.
What you see is, there's the stone, there's the outcropping, and you see this kind of shape rear up, and then as the wings expand, but in white, you see what appears to be a very big white dragon.
Right. Why did you wake the dragon up?
Yeah, I told you to wait till dusk.
I feel like...
Sorry, go on.
I feel like the statues were enough of a security system. This kind of seems like overkill.
Oh yeah.
Just showing off.
Did that happen because of the mistaken spell, Rob?
Right.
Do you think?
I cast Airwalk.
So
going to
as it kind of looks down upon you all, it from the outcropping, it just kind of leans forward and it just drops with its wings down, deadly silent, and you think it's going to hit the ground, and it pulls itself up, and not even like 20 feet above you, this huge, immense dragon flies past you. As it does, it emits a frost breath.
Okay, yeah.
As it...
Say maybe it just wants to say hello.
Yeah.
No, I was hoping it was going to be a more talky dragon than a fighty dragon, but there we go.
Might just have bad breath.
It might do.
Do you have to make saves?
Well, there's two things that are going to happen. One is it it has what's called the dragon chill because it's a white dragon.
Right.
Can everyone make a basic reflex check for me, please?
Reflex save.
What, a reflex save?
Yeah. A reflex wave.
A reflex save.
Are we?
I'd like to trade this in, please.
Is it a PP coin?
You got a PP coin.
Here
you go.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
To avoid the one I just rolled.
Ooh.
Premonition of avoidance on everyone. You get +2 to it.
Oh, that's good. That pushes me above 40. That's good. That's 41 total.
That's 31 total.
Okay.
Yeah, I got. Go on.
Elena, how much? 28.
28.
Chris, you got 31.
36.
Yeah.
Sorry.
36. 36 pass. Elias.
47.
Pass. Tolkus.
Nice. 42, did I say? I think it was.
So
No, 41. Sorry, 41.
Elena and Brony, you both
31.
take 1, 2. As this ice bursts down around you. It's not much. It's not much. 8, 9, 10. That's 10 points of damage. As literally you're all standing there, and there's this huge ice breath comes out, and all of these ice like stalactite kind of things to shoot out on the ground, almost like spearing the ground and separating you. You've got Brony and Yelena on one side, Elias, Tolkus, Rupp on the other. So what I will do is bump, 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 and bump. I will then, let's switch the camera over so everyone can see, hopefully. There we go. And then as the dragon flies down, you've got, you fall over. Brony, I don't have a gnome fighter. Everybody roll initiative. Now he has frozen.
You need to roll initiative against the internet.
Roll initiative against the internet.
Initiative against the internet.
And so this is our perception, yes?
Yeah, perception plus whatever you roll.
Awesome.
Steve, you with
What I
us?
love
You haven't
about
moved in a while.
Pathfinder 2 is
I'm moving more than I normally am.
I genuinely don't know if I actually have a good roll or if that's just what Pathfinder rolls look like.
Okay. Tell me
It
the
seems
roll.
very high.
So,
to me.
what's your roll?
40.
Yeah, that's,
that's
about
good.
normal.
All right. Well.
Yep. I told you the numbers were high. Okay, Yelena.
Am I the little brown guy?
Yeah, so I don't
38.
I think you
this
might
is what
be.
cursed us before, is that I don't have a gnome fighter. But from our Great British Brush-Off show, this was the first mini I painted. This is the Paizo Goblin. So,
You know what? I'll take it.
yeah, there you go. So that's you and Galena on one side of the Frost Breath, while everyone else is on the other side. But you see this? Look, okay. I know it's quite embarrassing to have someone from Dwarven Forge look at what I've made here. But hey,
No,
it's the best I could do.
We haven't made Arctic terrain, so this just gives me another reason to get on Nate about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Arctic terrain would be awesome.
This is something that's been cobbled up from various different places. This is the Beadle Grim from Icewind Dale. They're snow maps. The icicles, the stalactites are from Gale Force 9. This is from the local shop. You can pick them up at Halloween. And then we've got some Ettin stone over. There's the stairwell. That's the Ettin stone that I'm using to make some stairs, and that goes all the way to the top of the mountain. So you have a little bit of space to play with.
Nice.
Well, I think it looks good.
It does.
And obviously there would be 7 skulls, but I only have 3. But
Perfectly fine.
you get the idea. We use some imagination sometimes.
Rest are off camera.
Yeah, definitely. They're off camera. They look even
You-
better.
You just don't want to block our line of sight, yeah.
Yeah. It's like the isometric games when the wall of the building kind of disappears but you see the rest of it. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
The fourth wall. Yeah. That's.
We need a character that does that.
What breaks it?
Breaks the fourth wall?
We need a character that can do that. We'll get one eventually. Right, so Brony's at 40. Let's go around the table. Yelena?
38.
38. Okay, well done. And Elias?
43.
43, wow. And Tolkus?
30. Measly 30.
That's very low for you. Right.
One up, you're 31.
Oh. I almost won.
Oh. And what am I? What did I get? I was too busy fixing things. Ooh, 34. Oh, yeah, 40. Oh, I am top. Okay,
Great.
so as he does,
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
it's good for me. I'm playing as well.
Well, as long as as long as the dragon moves within range, it's good for me.
Yeah. So as it flies past, you get this kind of
Maybe
cold
I
chill.
shouldn't have said that.
You get the cold chill, you get the breath weapon, and then just as it goes past, it does a tail attack. So it sweeps its tail down, carves itself into the snow as it takes back up. That is going to hit. Oh, it's going to hit everyone. No, it's not. It's going to hit Elias, Tolkus, and Rupp. So we do. Oh,
Excellent.
we're going to need. We're going to need the computer.
Not
out.
like this.
Oh.
To everyone who was watching live, really sorry about that. The internet crapped out, kind of. I blame Twitch. That's easy. It probably wasn't that. It was a combination of things. Who knows? But we are going to be recording the rest of this, and hopefully you're watching this on YouTube. So thank you very much for that. But where we had those kind of a few icky quirks, we're gonna. What we've done is taken 5 minutes, have a beer, have a chit chat. We're sitting around a campfire. And we're going to talk to our guest, Chris London from Dwarven Forge.
Hey.
And we're just going to talk about Dwarven Forge for a little bit.
Oh.
You just stabbed yourself in the eye.
Yeah, I got some in my. I think it's an eyelash.
Oh god, that's
This is where everything goes wrong. Now, Steve's bird is awake now, and
it's half 10. It's wake up and shout time.
Yeah.
I'm also. I got my second vaccine yesterday, so.
Is it kicking in now?
It comes in and out. I'm feeling a little hazy right now, so you can probably get whatever you want out of me if you play your cards right.
Plague Stone. So
Plague Stone.
We've
Send
been
you the
talking
Plague
about
Stone sets.
Yeah,
all the Plague Stone sets.
We are doing.
You're doing Plague Stone soon, right?
July. Yeah, we are going to be running
Yeah.
Plague Stone Pathfinder. We've got it set for 3 months. I don't think it's going to take 3 months. I think it's going to take 2 months.
I am very curious to see because we didn't make terrain for the whole thing, but we.
So here's my question: what terrain did you make for it? Because it's all kinds. You've got the town, the village, you've got buildings, you've got basements.
So we have four encounters. It's none of the town stuff.
Okay.
From what I remember, is it going to spoil anything for any of the players in here if I talk about the encounters?
I'm not playing in it.
You don't know if you're playing in it. I haven't asked you to yet.
Well then. All right, I'm not playing in it.
Just go with it.
So we designed. It's a set of 4 different kind of environments that daisy chain together. That starts outside in like a wilderness area, then you go into a cave.
Yeah.
And you go inside, and it goes into like a alchemist lab situation.
Yep.
Basically, that we made like a four piece.
Is it that one?
That. Looks like it, actually.
Yeah. So you got the
close to it.
Outhouse, and then you got the tunnel, and then it takes there's the lake, and then it takes you into the bits. These are breaks. These are not. These are fill it up with whatever you want.
So there's no buildings or lakes in it from what I remember, but it's yeah, it was a fun thing. We made it kind of like a greatest hits of some of our favorite pieces. Like there's some, it's got some of our dungeon stuff, some of our caverns, some of our mountain stuff, and then we made a couple new things for it. We made like these like cool deadly plant creatures and stuff. It was a fun thing. It was our first time doing something like that. We hadn't done a collaboration like that before.
There's that one as well. That one is the
that
outside.
Looks a lot closer. Pretty sure that's it.
And then you got the temple, shrine kind of looking area.
Because there's cages. There's cages in that second area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one then. Because we have cages in the second area. Of,
nice.
Cool.
Them plants.
Yeah. So that's.
For those of you that can't see, looks like a cross between a Venus flytrap and a Driftwood.
Yeah. Well, so we made two plants. We made this thing called the Poison Bloom, which is like this big, vibrant red, like I think it's got 5 like petals, and it looks just gross.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the Vine Lasher, which it kind of looks like a plant sack, and it's got like a mouth and like some vines, and the whole thing is it grabs you and pulls you in.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, yeah. That has a nasty bite. Yeah.
Oh, it's friendly.
So that was like a really that's like a really fun. It was a fun thing, and I it'd be fun to do more stuff like that. It introduced like all of its own challenges with it, though. I mean, our production cycle is kind of long because we don't do like 3D printing or anything like that. What we do is we got to make these steel molds. We do like injection molding. It's a very long process, and so by the time our actual terrain came out, the book had been out for a bit. It's hard to just, the production cycle on like making that book is considerably shorter than us making the terrain for it and all that. But it was fun. I think those generally are really, really good sets. They're a pretty good way to start out with our terrain, actually, because you get a pretty good chunk of the best stuff.
There was a nice variety from what I saw, because I mean your sets are very much specific. You have the dungeon set, the wilderness set, you got the swamps, and if you buy bits and pieces of everything, you can. I mean, I've seen you encourage like all the fan photos that people have shared of his Dwarven Forge builds, and I've also got a copy of Dungeon of Doom, and it's amazing. And it is just incredible. But the thing with the Plague Stone, I didn't know that it was, until we first spoke like a while ago, I didn't know that your Plague Stone was the same as this Plague Stone. And that's why I was excited about it, because it has a bit of everything.
Yeah, that was our favorite. Like that was our first time doing like a specifically licensed set like that, where it's made specifically for a book, basically.
And what was the timing of that with the pandemic?
So we're a very small team. I think we just got up to about 20 people.
Yeah.
And when you see the stuff that anytime people hear like how bigger, and that's with us like having hired a number of people. Our team actually got bigger during the pandemic.
Yeah.
As we started like trying to like round out some of the stuff that we do. So while that was going on, we were also fulfilling one of our Kickstarters and everything, and then the pandemic hit. So yeah, the pandemic really messed with shipping mostly. Shipping became like a very, very big deal, especially earlier on in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And also just, it affects factories and their ability to work as quickly as they did and everything. And even for us too, because everything we do is hand sculpted and hand painted as well. And so when we can't have everybody in the office to like share things around, we're shipping things back and forth to the sculptors. When painters have to come in to pick up pieces to take them home and paint them there, like everything just takes a little bit longer.
I was talking to Erin as well, because so when we had Erin on the Great British Brush Off, we were talking about when we raided the Hamster Hangout. One of your guys there was in like clay. He's got this corner of the building, and it has this tree going up one of the sides. And I was like, "Is that how you model your pieces?" And then you make the molds from those kind of things, because that looked incredible. I mean, it was intricate what he was doing, or at least it seems to be.
So that was Toby. He does a lot of our tech stuff, and he also does some of the sculpting. He's responsible for basically all the tech and the pieces, more or less. He's the one who figures out how to get the LEDs in there, how to get it all wired, stuff like that. And he's also very good sculptor. Like I said, like that piece in particular, he's been chipping away at that on the streams for a while. And it's not for Dwarven Forge, it's just him doing it in his free time, but that is like the process that we use. Is, yeah, it's that clay. And one of the things that hopefully we can do more of as we get back into the office as the pandemic ends, we really wanted our own streaming to kind of highlight the creative process, like behind the scenes and all that, because it is interesting. There's not a lot of companies that do it the way that we do, mostly because the overhead is like ridiculous compared to doing like 3D printing and such.
Yeah.
But when you see Eli or Nina or Michelle like going in on these pieces, the attention to detail is really wild. And so we did a couple streams earlier on where we had Eli and Nina sculpting on stream, and it's a really fun process. They're very knowledgeable about anatomy. They have like their own specializations and everything, stuff that particularly piques their interest more. But they're incredibly intelligent and like well educated in like a lot of different areas, because in order to sculpt all these different things, like you have to like know like how these rock formations work, how lava. When we did Hellscape, I remember hearing Nina talk about the way that she researched the way that lava flows to like try and actually like be able to sculpt lava that still feels like it's moving, basically, and looks real and looks accurate to the process. It's a very time consuming and difficult thing to do, and it's
the lava looked amazing because that's the one you had all the LEDs in as well. So you had like flowing lava down walls, and then you had the just instead of a lake, it's lava. It's stunning.
Yeah, with Hellscape in particular, I feel like Hellscape is one of our most indulgent sets, just because it is. There's a lot of LEDs. It's also all the lava and everything is made to be like lit from underneath with these light panels that we made, and all that. So you can kind of just have this like, I don't know. It's that thing where when the big thing we always say, like the thing that is really exciting is when you see it dropped on the table in front of people for like the first time and they haven't seen you use Dwarven Forge for like a build before or something. Just like to have it dropped on the table and seeing the reactions is like really something else. Especially then once they get into it, and it's like, oh, these things have functions. This is a secret wall, like that actually literally physically slides out and there's a hidden passage there. Yeah. And stuff like that. Or you set off like a special effect on one of the pieces, and there's a lot of really cool stuff. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that with the team, one of my favorite things about working there in general is pretty much everybody there is just passionate about the gaming and it's we're all like making stuff that we want to use, basically.
Steve, sorry, did you have a question there?
Yeah, I did. So with the clay sculpts, is that the first step in the process, or is there something upstream of that as well?
So the first step is debatably sketching, or you could even just say like just talking it out. But like, when we go into a Kickstarter, first we try to figure out like what we're even doing. Come up with a list of like what are all the different things we could make that would fit this theme, try to whittle it down to like what makes the most sense for us to do, because we can only do so much at a time. And there'll be concept art that's drawn. And one of the biggest things is we need to make sure that all of our pieces play well together, because we don't make... one of the biggest things is we need to make sure that everything is modular. There are some companies where they do like really beautiful hand-sculpted stuff. Like Tabletop World does like really just gorgeous sculpted buildings. But, they are one thing. Like you put it down like that's what it is. Yeah. So they get to do like all these really cool details and like very specific shapes. But we have to make sure that we try to still like have really interesting shapes and stuff that looks really organic, but have footprints so that it all can go together in a bunch of different ways. So that with one set you can make a bunch of different things is the goal. And so before we start sculpting, we do like the foam mock-up process where Nate will literally like measure out and cut out pieces of foam that match the rough idea of the shape of what we want these pieces to be, and then he'll play around with like, okay, so if you've got these, that'll go here and all that, and you figure out like, okay, cool, we actually need like another corner piece here. We need something that fits these dimensions. We need something that will raise you up like a half step so we can gradually go up into this piece. And so that he has to do that before we actually start sculpting the stuff, because then the clay sculpting takes a very long time to do. So we don't want them to spend time sculpting out a piece and then realize, oh, that doesn't make sense with the footprint. Yeah.
So with the stuff that you've done, I mean, the Dwarven Forge has made all kinds and types of terrain, indoors, outdoors, you know, forests and swamps and everything in between. When you did Dungeon of Doom, that was a set adventure. You know, go to room to room to room, corridors linked to doors and secret openings and encounters. Was that your first foray into having like, this is a purpose-built dungeon with a purpose-built adventure? And then you've mentioned doing things like Plaguestone, specifically for Paizo as an adventure. Is there more stuff like that on the way, or you concentrated on doing more landscapes, more terrain types?
So when it comes to having like an encounter system, basically, because both Dungeon of Doom and Caverns Deep, we made all these pieces, and then the way that it was sold in the Kickstarter is basically like, here's a bunch of different encounters, and so you buy those encounters. And there's definitely like an appeal to those. It's way more appealing to customers a lot of the time when you have it as a set encounter, because then you've got like a narrative attached to the piece, and so it's easy to like look at it and see, oh, this is what you can do with it. This is really exciting. I want to do this so that I can run this. And with both Dungeon of Doom and Caverns Deep, we made like huge. We wrote big modules basically to go with them. I think Caverns Deep is like well over 200 pages. They're sizable books to like go with both of those things. But there's also downsides to doing it that way. The biggest thing is when we do it like based on encounters, that means that you've got very specific set compositions for each of those encounters, because you know everything is there. All the quantities of pieces and everything are to build this specific room, which leads to some problems later on when we're trying to like restock it, where it's not. The main thing is encounters, particularly the bigger ones, can get pretty expensive, which is then a harder thing to justify like buying out of the store and stuff like that. And it can also lead to there not being a lot of flexibility in terms of being able to restock things, because we end up with like weird multiples of pieces and stuff like that. So with Wildlands, we didn't really do an encounter system with it. We tried to take this more lax approach of trying to offer packs that seemed sensible, where none of them were incredibly expensive by themselves, so that you could combine them into bigger encounter things. And we had some examples of that. We would do sample builds and the like to show what those things look like, but without tying ourselves to these like very specific and kind of weird piece counts at times, so that hopefully it'll be a lot easier to restock them, and it'll be easier to justify buying these sets out of the store later on. Just ways to expand your collection in ways that make more sense.
Do you have stockists, or it all comes through you? Do you sell to like hobby shops, or do you sell straight to consumer?
I think we used to a very long time ago, and it just wasn't working out great. The main thing is that we don't do large enough quantities, right, for the overhead to work out very well. Is the main problem. So we would love to do it if it was feasible, but it's rough.
So changing tact about moving away from Dwarven Forge and more about you. How did you, what was your background, and how did you get into Dwarven Forge? Did you just apply like everyone else, or did you hunt them down and say, I want to work in that kind of company?
It was a really weird series of strange events and circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
I initially I came out here because I wanted to do because I do film stuff, and there's not a lot of film in Washington, so I had to I went over to New York, I did stuff there. Well, here I'm still here, and I was doing freelance at a certain point. I was getting enough editing work to kind of do that full-time freelancing. So I was freelancing for a couple of years, and our friend group, we randomly got connected through meeting Selena, their video person, at a bar, and they needed an extra painter at one point, I think was the first thing that happened. And so she was asking if we knew of any painters, and we also knew Hamster, Aaron, in our friend group. And so we were like, well, he does painting. And so that's how he got in. And then they started doing this thing called Build of the Month. And they needed an editor to edit these like monthly Build of the Month videos. And so I started doing that because I was doing freelance editing. And then they were doing Hellscape, and they needed somebody to come in and do video during Hellscape. And I came and I did that for a month, and I just liked it a lot. I did a lot of freelance jobs before that I really didn't like the people I was working for. You can wind up working.
Yep, been there, done that.
You can work with some really shoddy people when you're freelance, and I don't know. I worked the Kickstarter. I worked the Hellscape Kickstarter, and I just got to like be around the team, and I really liked talking to them. They were a lot of fun to hang out with. They weren't bad people, which was nice. I enjoyed the work. Like, it's not. I like D&D. I like tabletop games, and so getting to do work that was tangential to it was really nice. It wasn't exactly like a goal that I had in my life to do tabletop stuff, but like doing that compared to doing, say, like really bad and exploitative short film edits for kind of shady people, I would take the Dwarven Forge job. You know, so I did some more stuff there, and I came in. It's like the end of 2019. I went in. It was a couple months after Hellscape, and I went to talk to Nate, and I was like, "Look, I think something that could be really good for your outreach and messaging is if you started doing live streams. If you did some Twitch stuff, I think there's a large. I think you've got a following that would be very interested in seeing like your creative process. And also, I don't think anybody's doing anything like that right now.
Yeah.
And so I convinced them to go on board with it, and we started streaming like February 2020, and that went really well. And we had all these big plans, and it was like, cool, I think this was like a good thing, which is a huge relief for me, because I was really worried about just like tanking the whole thing and like somehow bringing the company down or something. But it went really well. And then a month later, we went into quarantine. Yeah. And we had to adjust the entire game plan to fit around that. So they've kind of become, I've kind of stopped doing, I still will do some freelance edits for some friends and YouTubers every now and then, but for the most part, I just do Dwarven Forge at this point. And then my own projects during my free time.
Cool. I mean, so right now, as we record this, as we film this, this is April 2021. What's next for you and film, and for you and Dwarven Forge?
In film, I need to actually just release my first short. It's been done for a while, and we did festivals, and it had a pretty good like small festival run. And then I just got busy, and we haven't done like an actual like official release. And I want to do like a little party or something, like a watch party or something. But then I just haven't been able to find the time for it. So that I want to actually get that officially just out and released. So then I can just focus on like getting a feature made and stuff like that. For Dwarven Forge, we're doing all the tooling and stuff for Wildlands, like getting all the pieces made for the last Kickstarter we did back in September. I want to say September. Pretty sure it was September.
Yeah, I think it was.
we did all that, so we're doing that production. We're also a large part of what I've been doing is I've been trying to focus on how we can kind of modernize things and get better about our outreach and stuff. Because, like I said, it's a really small team, and everybody wears like a bunch of different hats. And so, you know, like somebody could be the sculptor, but is also having to handle the social media strategy and stuff like that. And or somebody is doing website development and also like other stuff. And there's just everybody like has a bunch of different stuff they do. So I wanted to kind of come in and help alleviate where I could some of that stuff, so people could focus on the stuff. I want people to be able to focus on the stuff that they're actually like there for, like the creative types being able to focus on making the pieces because that's what they love doing. So we're doing a lot of stuff. We're like revamping our store. We're doing some reconfigurations of sets to make them easier to get. We actually just unveiled a bunch of those last night on stream. We went over like the compositions of a lot of these new sets. That'll be easier to get dungeons. It'll be easier to get ice caverns. It'll be easier to get some city ruins for doing war games and stuff. And they seem like a pretty positive response. So we're trying to do a lot of that modernization while also getting ready for our next Kickstarter, which we're hoping to do in October, which is a return to our cities. And we've got a lot of really cool systems that I'm very excited about. The first time we did cities, a lot of it was just about how do we make it work.
Yeah.
Coming up with a system to actually like make these buildings. I know that we have that kind of outlined there. It's already established. Now we can focus on like, okay, so like then how do we make this? How do we add on to the systems that we have here to just make this like just absolutely like way above anything anybody else has out there? How do we like revolutionize what you're going to be able to do on the table with city builds? Setting up scenarios that people haven't been able to do before, I think is the main thing. I'm really excited about it. The design team has come up with just a lot of really cool systems, and I think when people actually see that stuff hit the table, when we like release that Kickstarter video and they see us like doing like rooftop chases and stuff, it's going to be phenomenal. Just like stuff to be able to like look at it and do like, hey, we can actually like do stuff like this now. There's stuff that you can do with 3D terrain that you just can't do with a mat. Like when you're talking about like doing elevation in particular, like
I wanted to do stuff where, so the biggest issue that me and Steve have found is when we have a map is we want to get the people to move around the map. And it's great having the scenery and having that is fine, but it also depends on the scenario. So if you crash through the door into the room, the bad guy's in the room. The bad guy's on the other side of this square. So the heroes rush in. The bad guy rushes forward. So now they're in the middle and everyone's just going bam, 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 until one of them falls over. So they don't move. However, if the scenario is you need to ambush someone, they'll go all the way around to circle them. And they go, right, I'll be up in the tree and I'll go through the bushes and I'll do this and I'll do this and I'll turn invisible and I'll turn into a bear. And they plan this elaborate attack. And it's just trying to get them to use that. So what I've been doing in some of the, I mean, I've got Whiskers tiles as well, the Warlock tiles, is trying to use elevation or stairs so I can give people different vantage points. And then, like the players have seen before, where I've done, I haven't got any on hand, I try to introduce like red barrels, like you have in a computer game, because you know that when you shoot a red barrel, it's going to explode. And then
everybody knows exactly what's going to happen.
But when I introduced that, and I didn't tell everyone, I just put, here's a barrel. No one, they just went, yeah, bad guy, and it was dead. And I was like, oh, I put all this environment in there, and I was sure that it would work. You know, stairways and plinths and nooks and crannies, and I was trying to put stuff in, and it's like, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? And then a few weeks back, we had campaign coins on, and I had a big kind of, again, it's another dungeon room, but I decorated it. So I used campaign coins as decoration, like stuff on the pillars, so they could go up to the pillar and go, oh, this pillar is facing me and it has a picture on it, but the pillar over there is facing a different direction. Maybe if they all face the same way, something could happen. And in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, the players are going to love this. That'd be great. The players went in there, saw the bad guy, dead. And I was like, damn it! I wanted all this stuff. the environment to change like a computer game, and I haven't yet cracked it. And I thought I was going to do it tonight, but obviously technology worked against us.
It's definitely one of the. I think one of the biggest things is to kind of break the seal like initially, so that they know it's a thing they can even do.
Yeah.
Like if you have the bad guy that they're fighting, whatever, use the terrain in some way, because environmental combat is just like a lot of fun. Yeah. Like if you get people thinking along the lines of like, oh, like is there like a chandelier in this room that I can drop on them? Is there like just getting to like even think about like what's around them. And I think even with the terrain there, some people just might not realize, because it's not really something that's written into the rules either. You know, like that's something you kind of have to add entirely on your own. And that's usually what we try to do is when we set things up, we try to think of some way that the terrain can make the encounter unique, so that you can't really get around the fact that the terrain is there. Like we put somebody like on a perch like across the way, so it's like, well, I mean, you can't like hit them normally because they're up in the air. There was somebody in the Discord yesterday who's talking about how they didn't even have enough to fully build out like a room yet, but they had mostly a map, but then they put some walls up here and there. And they were like, it was just there so that, you know, I could have like bad guys like using it to like break line of sight and like get cover and stuff like that. And so then they got everybody like kind of doing that, like moving behind a pillar to get like half cover and stuff like that. So I think that's part of it, is just throw like environmental consideration at them, and then hopefully that'll get them kind of thinking along those terms.
The Linus, I mean, Steve and I have had long chats about line of sight. So when you have it on a map, even if you have a poster map, you know, I've got all the Beetle and Grimm, fantastically beautiful painted maps. But if I could have trees or boulders or something that, as you say, gives you some cover, then when you're playing, you know, year of pandemic, hell, we're not at our tables. But as a club, we have multiple gaming tables, and people use digital screens. I'll use the printed maps. We use scenery, and as people kind of invest more money, their setup gets bigger and bigger. So we, you know, that all gets dished out. But it's having when you're sitting around the table, and what I was trying to use with Vorpal Board is to show players, well, yes, but that is blocking your way. But you could use it as cover, or it could be destroyed. Think about that as well. You know, it's just a wooden staircase, set it on fire, fireball it, do something. Or the bad guy as a giant. When I first introduced the giants, I mentioned the attack on Sandpoint. I used the town square from Warlock tiles, and I created several buildings, but none of them had like upper levels or roofs. But the idea being, you dress the rest of it in theatre of the mind. But if one of the players jumped down one of the alleyways I put there, then the giant can't get to them physically, but could smash the hell out of that building, and then I can just throw down some rubble, and then it becomes rough terrain. So I love playing with those elements of the strategy.
I also like the idea of like, if you've got that giant as well, it could even be something where it's like maybe they can't break his skin normally, so the only way they can actually fight him is by knocking things down on him, stuff like that, using the structures around him. That is fun though, because I guess that is one of the things, is there are, if I'm not mistaken, in 5e there are monsters with like a siege property where they instantly do like critical damage to structures, basically. And so that's a really fun way to kind of mix things up, is if you've got destructible objects. I got this mace where like that's what it does, and I haven't had a chance to use it yet, and it's driving me mad because I want it. Yeah, it does like it automatically criticals any like object that I hit with it, and any like kind of structure. And so I just want to find somebody who's in like a tower or something, and I just want to like knock the leg out, and we haven't had the chance to do that yet. I don't know.
Well, speaking of which, shall we try and get back? We were, before the technical difficulties, before the internet waged war against me, we were just about to fight. I'll tell you what it is, because this is quite cool. It is an ancient white dragon.
Well, this will be fun.
Oh, great.
So,
The weakest kind.
yeah. So yeah, you know, I was just kind of thinking
All
that'd be
week
cool.
he's been saying to me, I don't know how I'm going to get round Tolkus beating the crap out of everything.
You didn't have to throw bloody
ancient white dragon. That'll probably do it.
Let's just open the monster Nomicon.
I thought it'd be like a young white dragon.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Huh.
So anyway, we had. I will try and use the battle map myself because I made it. I'll take some photos so you can see what's been going on. But as the white dragon just soared across, you've got a little bit of kind of cold damage going on from its cold aura. It did its breath weapon and separated you. So Yelena and Brony on one side, Tolkus, Rupp and Elias are on the other. And then it's whipped down with its tail. Did we count the damage on that one? Or did we just give up at that point?
No, that's where it went.
What was the? Is it a saving throw or is it AC things?
It is. I've got to find it again now. The tail was coming down onto Elias, Rupp, and Tolkus, and it is a straight hit if I hit you. So it is 20, 39, 45, 42. Does it 42 hits?
Yeah.
Does it even hit Tolkus? That's the main thing. Does it hit Tolkus? Fuck for that. But it is only 2d10 damage. Plus 14. So
I'd like to disappear from the plane of existence, please.
That's 23 damage. As the tail whips down and cracks.
Sorry, how much, Dave? Sorry?
23.
23.
23 damage.
I will phase out and reduce that damage by 14.
Okay, so you instantly. And then Elias, followed by Brony, please.
How far away is the dragon from me?
It is literally
a flyby.
It's going. It's the faster and faster and further away. You sit rear up, and then it seems to do. It kind of starts to circle back, and it's obviously coming back for another run. It's a straight run.
Right. So
a bit higher up this time.
As it flies past and drags its tail through the ground and basically hits us with a furrow, I'm gonna shout out, "Can't see me!" And as I do, I complete the spell Power Word Blind.
Ooh, okay.
You don't get a saving throw.
No, I don't.
So if you're 14th level or higher, I'm assuming you're higher than 14th level.
Yes.
You are dazzled for 1 minute.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that means we are all concealed from you.
Okay.
And then, with the rest of my actions, I will suddenly swell, my body will burst, the coat will go, and bits and pieces will absorb into each other, and I will grow from this small, tiny little blue gnome form into a larger, winged, scaled dragon of the red variety.
Oh wow! Okay. I don't have another dragon. Well, I do. What I planned was to use this one for the battle map. I was going to use this for the white dragon when it flies down. You see, I didn't know you were going to turn into another dragon.
That's now me, and you can continue using my trophy as the white dragon.
my trophy. There we go. Steve is under the impression that he's going to win this for the Great British Brush Off. And I'm like, so I plonked that one there. I don't even know if you can see that. And then you're going to...
But the only thing we can see.
Okay.
Now we have a dragon off.
How many spell slots was that?
That was 2 spell slots.
Ooh.
That was a 7th level. Power Word Blind is 1 action.
I see.
I'll even use the ring enlarged.
Okay. So we're running away then.
It's
we have
Power
an
Rangers
advantage now.
It's Power Rangers. He's just Mighty Morphed.
So we're all turning into a different colored dragon, right?
Well, it's annoying for you because another member's suddenly become tall.
Yeah. He sold out, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
You got these two kaijus now fighting over the top of you.
You prefer wide, I think. Is that right? Like.
Yeah.
We have a kaiju fight, and you just have to. Everyone has to escape. Okay, so Brony, over to you. If
Man, is this dragon still the ancient one, the one that we don't like?
Actually, yeah. So as you turn into a red dragon, did you say, Elias?
Red dragon, yes.
And I was going to say he's bedazzled, but that's something else. As he's bedazzled, he slams into the ground where he thinks you all are, and it's called a ground slam move. Each creature on the ground within 10 feet must succeed. This is... So the battle map doesn't actually answer this properly, but he slams on where you all were. Can everyone do a reflex saving throw, please?
Oh, no. Oh, yes.
Reflex.
Including me.
Yes.
I'm going to use my halfling luck.
Cool.
Was that good, was it?
No, it wasn't good, but this one's good.
So
37.
37 passed.
38.
Passed. Elias.
44.
Passed. Yelena.
Sorry. Not working quick enough.
Right. Brony.
20.
I also got 34.
Okay,
26.
fail. Who got 34?
Whoa.
No one else got 34.
Oh, I thought somebody else said they got 34.
No, I got
Man.
44.
Okay, Brony failed.
26.
Yelena failed. Okay, so he hits mostly on your side of that frost barrier. Everybody, well, you... 1, 2... As it slams down. Okay, ooh.
Might use my fortuitous shift here.
That is 20 points of damage, and you, with the tremor, you both fall prone.
And I'm going to use my fortuitous shift.
you both hit the ground.
What does that do? It just means you shift out.
It says on a roll of 11 or higher, you disappear for a second and reduce damage taken by 14.
That's fine.
Elias's thing.
It's a reaction.
Yeah. And then Brony,
that's
over
an
to
8.
you.
That's an 8, so nothing happens.
So as you shift and take out the damage, avoid some of the damage, you now have 2 towering dragons over you. One, a huge ancient white dragon with its wings spread, its teeth barred, because it can smell the other dragon. And one, a red dragon, which wasn't there a moment ago.
I don't like this at all. All right. So that thing is what? So the white one's right by me, yeah?
Yes. This is a kaiju fight. This is Godzilla versus an ancient white dragon. You have feet stomping over you. You have tails flashing around, thrashing around. And
I'm gonna climb that dragon.
Yeah, go for it. Which one?
All right. I'm gonna get up. What are rules for getting up from prone in Pathfinder 2e?
It's an action. It's an action.
It's a whole action to get
up?
Yeah.
It's a whole action to get up unless you have kip up. I don't think you've got kip up.
I do not. Okay, I'll get up. My goal is I'm gonna climb onto this dragon's back.
Which one? The red one or the white one?
The white one. Unfortunately, I don't have any ranged weapons. I wouldn't be any good on the red one.
Okay, make me an athletics check for me, please, so you can.
Yes.
I'm it.
This is one of my best. Oh yeah. That's a 39.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so it's flashing around. You manage to get onto its from its tail and basically climb up. You're up to halfway up its back. This huge beast of an animal. Do you have any more actions you can use?
How many did it take for me to climb it? 1?
It's 1 action to climb it, 1 action to get up. So you have 1 action left. So you could hit it.
All right. Yeah, there's nothing else to do. I don't think I'm going to be able to disarm or grapple this thing.
you can give it a hug.
So... I could. I don't know if it's going to grapple it. Let's see.
There you go. I'll even put look. Brony is. You can't see it, but Brony is on the head.
All right,
He's
I'm gonna do
on the head.
I'm gonna do brutal finish then. After the strike, your turn ends. On a hit, deal extra dice damage. Let me see if that scales with level. Actually, I don't think it does. Currently be 2d10. Well, I guess I'll just roll the strike first off, because no matter what, it's going to be the same thing. That's a 9 on the die. It's going to be a 35 total.
35 to hit is a miss.
Oh,
so you go to strike it, but the scales is just too hard. It's a bit strange. It's a mixture of scales, but also ice. It's like the ice is caked in between some of its scales. It's all the way down its back. It's a bit strange. But there's a layer of ice, so you have to sort of break through first. It just seems to be stopping you actually doing any damage.
Anybody got a torch? Just
Yelena, followed by Rup, please.
Okay. Am I able to angle myself so that I may be able to cast something cone-shaped without hitting Brony?
Yeah, I mean, currently you're kind of face down prone into the snow. You can just roll over and shoot upwards.
I am going to do that. So I am going to cast Burning Hands upwards at the dragon. Reflex save, please.
Okay.
And I'm casting it up a level.
A reflex save, yeah. I got a natural. So that's 46. I got a natural 20.
Doesn't Dazzle do anything? No, it doesn't. Does that do any damage? It doesn't say if you succeed, so you don't take any damage.
Okay. So you roll over. You roll over from prone and start doing flamethrower from your hands, trying to burn this giant white dragon. Yeah. Again, the ice. You see the ice melt around some of its angles down on its kind of inner chest on the left-hand side. Other than that, it doesn't seem to take any damage.
Awesome.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Swear in Orcish.
You can swear. Rup, followed by Tolkus, please.
Okay. I'm right next to Tulkas, I assume.
Yeah.
Right. I am just gonna do some. What's the feat? It's a feat that lets me. Magic hands, I think it is. That allows me to infuse Tulkus's weapon with radiant energy.
Ooh.
As I'm going to cast a heal on him. So, yeah, you gain some hit points as well. I don't know if you took any damage, but...
Yeah, I did. I took whatever it was from the thingamajiggy pokey.
The pokery doodery.
The pokery thingamajig. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get... Well, yeah, you get like 33 hit points plus 1d10. 38?
Yeah, that's too many.
It's fine. But you also get, the main thing, you get 3d6 damage on each of your attacks next turn.
Right, remind me of that.
And that's my turn.
Okay, Tolkus.
Oh, cool. Right, okay, so Tolkus is going to pull out his axe.
Glowing with radiant light now.
Yeah, and also he's going to look at it and say... not sure the cold trait on this is going to do anything on this dragon, but luckily, lightning strikes it, and then he runs in and does a massive swipe. Now, am I close enough to actually attack straight away, or do I need to move?
No, I'll let you have it. It'll be a
tail attack.
It's within 30, yeah. It's within 30. You'll hit any part of the body that seems to be near you as you run into close quarters, yeah.
Right, so I am going to do a power attack. Take a massive deep breath, axe straight over the head, and go to hit him.
Go for it.
And it's an armor class of 44.
Ooh. Oh, that hits.
That's good to know. That is good to know.
Yeah, especially with the... Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that hits.
Right. one of them +1. I'm just not going to roll the cold damage because he probably takes half damage or something from cold attacks, but I just won't roll it because it's. I think it should be no because he is made of cold, isn't he?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So that's a lot of dice rolling around the screen. He takes. So from my own dice, it's 27 damage +6. And how many D6 did you say it was?
3.
3 D6.
Right, human
so 27
calculators.
+6.
33 plus.
+12.
45.
45 damage in total.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as a follow-up, I will do a brutal finish, which is another attack roll. That hits an armor class of 43.
Yeah, that hits.
Right, that's also handy to remember, guys.
A 40 will hit.
Another thing that's handy to remember, I looked it up. It turns out on a failure, brutal finish still does 1 die of damage.
Yeah, it's a cool feat.
I also technically wasn't allowed to use it last time because I need to have used a different strike already. So
Oh, wow.
20. Right, so 27 plus 13. So that is 40, isn't it? An even 40?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 45 with the first one, 40 with the second.
Wow.
Is that plus the 3d6, yeah?
Yeah, I rolled that at the end.
Wow. Okay.
Gotta get me some white dragon horn.
Explain what you actually did.
So the power attack was a massive, a proper full-on lunge.
Okay, so with that one, you shatter the ice around these scales, and you see the scales beneath crack, almost as if they're made of ice as well. And then the second hit,
little bit of crackling electricity up and down the wound,
and you see that.
And then the second one is as that's hit, I'll bring it round for like a baseball bat hit, sort of thing, with the brutal finisher.
So you've done a vertical and a horizontal.
Yeah, so you'll end up with one cut like that and one cut like that, and it's
T for
Tocus.
See, where's the live audience when you need one?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a dragon fight going on, and we've got no live audience. Right, okay, so as you do that, though, the second hit, it goes in, you do the capital T and into its body, but this time you break through the scales, going deep into its flesh. The blood sprays directly out, as if it's like all compacted behind, and just all over you. However, the blood is freezing. You need to do... okay, you can't do that. So you take 11, 12, 13, 14 points of damage as this literally ice cold blood sprays you in the face and upper body, and you feel it. It almost turns to ice on your skin as it goes there.
Right, luckily for me, when we had the time to upgrade, I upgraded my armor to greater resilience cold.
Cool.
So I get a -10 off that damage.
Wow.
He's
got all the bases covered.
Tolgras is just invulnerable to everything.
Not everything.
Not sausages. I need an evil sausage.
Sausages.
You haven't attacked him with mental attacks. That's the problem.
Ah, right, okay. So
Thanks
the dragon.
For giving that away, Chris, but you know.
Okay.
I mean, me and Elias have known it since the start, but
see, that's where I'm relying on you guys to protect me from those sorts of things.
It's top of the round, and the dragon starts to flail around again. It has a move called the Draconic Frenzy, where it can make 2 claw strikes and 1 tail strike. So it's because it's kind of basically blinded, it's just going to randomly stomp around and then flash its tail into the crowd. So it won't hit Brony because Brony's on top, but everyone.
That's an excellent name for an 80s sitcom.
Brony's
on top.
Tolkas, you're right near his feet, so you will get hit. The tail was previously slashing down onto Yelena. And let's get Elias, because he's in there as well. So
Coriolis.
this is claw strike.
I'm excluded.
You are, yeah. I got another critical.
I think you should get me back, Rup. So we've got, you know.
Oh yes.
So 51.
Half
This is Elias and Tolkus. 51 to hit, which it does. And then it's where's my tens? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Oh, that's poor. 10, 11, 12, 13.
That's what we like to hear.
It adds up though because you get a plus 16. So that's 30 points of damage as the claws just randomly keep coming down and manage to kind of get you.
I'll use my. So that was the same damage for both of us, was it?
Yes, it's 30 points of damage each.
I'm going to attempt to use Fortuitous Shift then.
Okay.
And that's an 8, so that's a fail. So 30.
Okay, and then the tail comes crashing down onto Elena. 29, 30, 32.
No.
No. Wow,
Misses.
you managed to... You're still prone on the floor as well. You just roll out the way. This
over,
giant tail slaps down into ground. Just exactly where you were a second ago. Okay, Elias, followed by Brony, please.
I'm going to snap my jaws forward and attempt to take a bite. Please.
Go ahead, yeah.
No, that's so close to being an at 20, but it was a number next to it, which is a 2, so that's only an armor class of 24.
I just realised I wasn't rolling critical hit deck for my rolls.
Oh, a bit late now.
Yeah. I remove a kidney from Tolkus.
I snap forward, but the teeth rake off of the icy scales without doing any damage.
Okay.
But since my face is so close to its body, I'll just unleash, with the next 2 actions, my breath weapon.
I just had an idea that you went to bite his neck, and then as you come back, your tongue is frozen to his neck, and you just got a long tongue stuck to him as you pull back. Right. So you miss with the teeth, but you hit with a breath weapon.
Yep. So it's...
Reflex,
I guess
right?
it's a save and throw. Reflex save and throw.
It is, yep.
Don't need to know what my DC is, it doesn't say.
Yeah, but
29.
Does he get, just out of interest, would he get a minus because he's blind?
Don't know.
Pretty hard to react to things when you can't see it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think I see the dragon as kind of thrashing around because he's been blinded. I mean, that's why he's kind of crashed down. Did he do it on purpose, or did he just kind of land heavily?
It doesn't say what the save and throw is. It must be my save and throw, in which case that's a fail.
Okay.
And this is fire, obviously.
Yep.
Fire.
So this is what I mean. It's Godzilla. It's like, brrrr, as he's breathing into the kaiju. Has anyone seen the new version yet? Godzilla, King Kong.
No, I haven't.
That's 30 points of damage.
Ooh.
Good damage, Steve.
Okay, so you rear back and a whole torrent flamethrower comes out of your gaping toothy maw.
Conveniently not hitting me.
Yeah, you're hiding behind it on his back, holding on.
That's why I did the bite first, so I could be right up close to him.
What I'll do
So it's contained in that small little area.
What I'll do is I'll send you a photo of it tomorrow. But yeah, I've basically got Brony balanced on his head.
Nice.
I'll send you those tomorrow.
So I'm going to roll a d4, and that's how many more rounds I have to wait till next time I use my breath weapon.
Okay.
So I rolled a 4.
Well done.
No.
Well done. Thank you, Steve. Well done. Lovely.
Darn.
Okay, Brony, followed by Yelena.
All right. There's really nothing to do but take some big swings here.
Okay.
I'm gonna open up with a power attack.
Go for it.
Good choice.
I'm assuming a 31 isn't going to hit.
31 is a miss.
All right.
But from your vantage point on the back of the white dragon, you notice as you ducked down behind its back to avoid this flamethrower blast, you notice a lot of the ice is starting all to melt. So you've now got clear view of the scales.
Cool. I'm going to try to... Man, I guess it would help if I had a sharp weapon as opposed to a war flail. I guess I'm just like whacking this thing over and over again.
Just looks back like...
He's riding him. Here we go.
All right, I'm going to go with a brutal finish. There's not a lot else I can do. Okay. How's the 37?
37 hits. Here we go.
Yay.
Okay.
I think we discovered its armor class.
I'll tell you what it is. The armor class is 36.
Nice.
Not nice.
So I can hit it on a roll of 6.
Oh no.
Show off.
Do you want me to guarantee it? Jeff?
Oh, you got that? You can do that.
Maybe. I can make it more likely.
So the damage is the weapon die plus your strength modifier, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be 12 damage.
No, it's got to be more than that. Didn't you do brutal finish?
Yeah, you get another
Yeah,
D10,
you get
2
two weapon damage
no.
dice.
I did. I rolled bad.
Oh.
Okay, you smack down, and as the flail comes back, you see this kind of blue liquid coming back from the flail. So as you're like hitting it round, say you're on the back of its neck kind of thing, you're trying to get it so it's going around to the side of the neck, and as it's come back, as you're just wailing it down into its neck, as it swings back, it's covered in this blue goo. You've obviously cracked through some scales and hitting the blood.
He's full of juice.
Definitely.
It's full of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the Baja Blast Dragon.
Yelena, followed by Rut, please.
Powerade.
Yeah.
Yelena is just gonna lie there and go nearly, and then cast Burning Hands again.
Okay, another flamethrower. As you're laying prone.
Yeah, as I'm laying prone, so can I have a reflex save?
Okay, here we go again.
I was going to put money on it being spiky spike attack.
35.
Oh.
No.
No.
35. That saves.
Okay, you keep dodging the tail, both a red tail and a white tail as they start flashing around, thrashing around, and it just kind of puts you off. You got flamethrowers going everywhere.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think I'm just going to stay on the ground and
You're
hope
just
that
like,
I can keep running out of the way. So, right, I'm going to go for the sensitive bits next time.
Yeah, aim lower.
Oh, metro.
Rup, followed by Tolkus.
Can I want to try and look at the dragon, and from my knowledge, can I tell whether this is its home plane?
It is. This is its home. So, but the history on this particular dragon is it has lived here for at least 500 years.
Okay. Fine. It's its home plane.
You just stepped on its doorstep.
Great.
This is the dragon's equivalent of get off my land.
So that's not going to work, what I was looking at. Well, okay, you see as Rup starts to walk up to the creature and the ice kind of materializes around him into gauntlets and bracers and big shoulder pads as he grows in size, and then the helmet comes up as he turns this space marine-esque type creature. Yeah. The visor starts to come down over him as he loses control of his body.
Here we go.
Body functions.
Here we go. There you
go. And Jesus takes the wheel.
There you go. So Rup turns into this thing, yeah?
Yeah. He's got like this star knife, which he swirls a giant star knife about twice the size as it used to be. And he's going to start twirling it around and attack the creature.
You're all sellouts.
Oh yeah, he's become taller now.
Yeah, Henry.
Yep.
No, I'm the same size. I'm just in a massive armor.
All right.
So I'm very small in the thing. You can see
You're in the helmet.
You can see my toes sticking out the chest plate.
Okay, you need to see what I'm seeing here though, because this is just mental now. This is just crazy.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm going to attack.
Hit him as well. Yeah, go for it.
That is a 41 to hit.
41 hits. Here we go.
Oh god, what damage should I do?
We need Mothra to turn up now.
Man.
So I do. Is this creature evil?
It really depends who you ask. Like that's a really...
No, well, no, it does extra damage if he's evil.
I am going to
really
say
subjective.
I'm going to say yes, because they're, in terms of all the dragons in Pathfinder, they're not particularly the fastest, smartest, but they are vicious.
Right. So that does 22 points of damage.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, a bit more. Sorry, a bit more than that. Sorry.
No worries.
24 points of damage.
Yep.
As the mech kind of takes over.
The
I'm not used to these movements, and you hear my back kind of crack as it starts to like jolt around.
It really is the Power Rangers when you like do the sword spin when you see.
Yeah. Yeah, the weird thing is, all I can do in this suit is attack or move. That is literally all I can do.
It's a dragon. It's all you need to do.
That's all you need, baby.
From your new vantage point, you see Brony just hanging on. He's whacking this wallflower backwards and forwards, while holding on.
Okay. It's definitely a two-handed weapon too.
You've only
got one. You've only got one hand.
It's like clutching with my thighs.
I don't get splashback, do I?
You'd be able to show off your legs when you come back.
No, you have to pay extra for that.
It's leg day for Brony. Tolkien, you're up.
Right, so
Not only are you
standing
Not only are you fighting between the legs of two dragons, now this giant mech has joined in.
Well, it's his size. So,
it's Tolkien's size.
Yeah, it's Tolkien's size. So.
I was wishing Elias could have cast the giant-y thing on me before he changed it to a dragon, but never mind. So it would have looked really cool, wouldn't it? Like, you know.
Well, yeah, I can swap that one out for that. There we go.
Okay, cool. That's better.
So you're not that big, but you just have to be that big.
Okay, cool.
Right, I think I just got hit by his legs, didn't I? Or his feet, rather.
Yeah. You got stamped.
That was what damaged me. So I will attack his the leg that hit me, because it done me bad.
Okay.
Cut it off.
Go for it.
So I'll go in with a power attack to try and effectively kneecap him on one of his legs.
Go for it.
So 15 on the dice, which means it hits.
Yeah.
And do I still get that extra damage, Chris, or is that gone?
That's gone.
Yeah, cool. It does. Oh, that's good damage. It's 35 plus 6. So that's 41 damage. And then I'll do a brutal finisher to try and actually take his knee off.
Oh dear.
And it's a 16 on the dice, which means it hits.
It hits, yeah.
And it's not as many dice this time, so don't worry, it won't do as much damage.
Done 12.
It did nearly do as much damage. It's 32 plus 6, so 38 damage.
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's like 80 yourself in one round.
Yep.
You want to get me to make you some weapons, Brony, after this? I make you a good fail.
I don't know if we're gonna see Brody after this.
was just rocking out.
Did I manage to? I want to say decapitate, but that's probably not the right term. Did I manage to knock his knee off?
Yeah, you gave him a bad go. So top of the round, the dragon feels the pain from its leg as you do deep damage into its leg, its lower leg below the knee and just around the knee area. You can see its weight start to shift as it the leg gets weaker and weaker, and it starts to shift. The wings come out, and you can see it start to kind of crouch again, as if it's going to take flight. Instead, though, it does another frenzy. So it tries to hit, same again. So Tolkus and Elias on the feet attack with claws. I got a natural 1.
Oh! Yes.
Shall I fumble deck or?
I was going to say, now you're wishing you didn't say at the beginning about the fumble and the critical deck.
Let's find out what happened. There we go. Right.
The dragon falls on its back.
Oh, okay. This is not bad. This is not bad. So it goes to rear to do the attack. It can now only do 1 claw attack rather than 2. It smacks down into the ground near Tolkus. There's ice and boulders just crushed beneath it as one of these skulls that you've been sort of dealing with crushes beneath it. But its foot seems to get lodged. It may be because of the damage you did to its knee or the claw, but it just doesn't have the strength to pull it back out. Probably it starts to rip, more blood starts gushing out as the tendon starts to snap and break. It has to succeed on, it's a DC 20 athletics check, which you can probably do, to be able to pull its arm out. So that will take one of my actions, and then I'm down. Then I've only got my tail attack, which is part of my original go, which is a 2 action.
And what if he rolls a 1 on the athletics check?
Then we'll find out what happens.
It gives up. Goes home.
We cause a chain reaction.
Yep. Always is quite. Athletics is quite strong. So that was. I thought it was a 1. It's a 7. I thought it was a 1.
Damn it.
So I pass. It managed to put its leg back out, but you see all the tendons, and it starts to limp. It doesn't look like the leg can support its weight any longer. So well done that one. However, the tail still does slap down onto Yelena.
Slap down.
That is going to definitely
WWE slap down.
Hit. It's a 45.
No, that definitely doesn't hit at all.
Cool.
No.
Right, here we
She's
go.
had an armor upgrade.
You are so lucky.
I don't feel 14, it right now.
15. That's a 21 damage as you just get part of the tail just comes a little bit too close. It's mostly bits of like snowballs and ice chunks rather than the tail itself that you get hit by. Well done. Okay, Elias, followed by Bruni, please.
As soon as it looked like that leg is going a bit gammy, I'm going to focus my attacks there, please. So first one will be a bite. That hits 33.
33 misses.
Yeah. My melee attacks with dragon are not great.
Yeah.
Use your bow and arrow.
I'm then going to swing round, bring the tail to bear, try and knock it sideways if I can get it fall over. That's good. That is a 40 to hit.
40 hits, yeah.
With the tail. So swing that round. Where's my tail? It's 3d10. I've got some of them somewhere. So this is 25 points of damage with the tail to the knee. And then the last attack is as I swing the tail round, I'm going to follow up with the wing at the same time to try and sort of hit him into the shoulder, make him lose his balance.
Yep.
That's a miss.
Okay.
That's my go over.
Brony, followed by Yelena.
Brony's overcome with shame at the fact that he seems to be the only one not pulling his weight. And he has a thought. The Big Arms family, the reason they're known for their strong, powerful arms is that they're a renowned family of masseuses, and using that knowledge of pressure points,
Whoa.
he's gonna search he's gonna with his thighs, he's gonna scoot up a little bit higher up the back, up between the shoulder blades, or I guess between the wings. I don't know. Look for a spot there. He's gonna try and power attack. Just bring the flail back, try to bring it down, just right on a pressure point.
Go for it.
This is all flavor.
He's going for a Vulcan neck pinch, isn't he?
Yes, basically, but with a mace. With
Yeah,
a warfare.
yeah, it's fine. It'll work.
I can see why Quink likes you.
Look, he's got the
nose,
rheumatism.
dude.
Hey, that's a 39.
It hits.
Yeah.
All right, I'm actually hitting with a power attack.
Go for it.
Nice one.
Let's go.
I'm glad I can make the DM laugh. Like that's good.
It's not often you can find good help. That's 16. 16 damage.
You 16
Sure,
damage.
you rolled all the dice.
What's that?
Well,
Are you sure you rolled all the dice?
3d10.
Ooh.
3d10 plus 4. And then, brutal finish.
You're just getting unlucky. You are just getting unlucky.
I'm getting really bad. I'm getting
He's more
really,
than that.
I keep
He's
getting,
more
I
than
keep
that.
getting ones on the damage die.
Your total is +8. So it's 3d10 +8. So you get 4 more.
4 more points.
Four more what?
4 more points damage.
Plus
yeah.
8?
Yeah.
It's not just
so-
plus 4 on my...
No, so there's another box next to it. You also add that number on as well because you get +2 for being legendary.
Oh, for weapons, because I'm legendary. Got it. All right, so
Because
that's
I'm legendary. That's the best
Because
reason.
I am legendary.
awesome. Well, I'm very happy about the fact that that means I've done actually 8 more damage than I initially thought over the course of this. Which helps offset a bit of the sorrow that I'm feeling at having just rolled a 1.
But surely you've got a hero point, so you could re-roll.
He does technically. He does have a hero point. Thank you for
I have a hero
reminding us.
Yeah, you have a PP coin.
So,
no, I did anything for... Okay.
so these are the PP coins.
Got it.
And you get 1 at the start of every round, and then you can accumulate PP
Every
coins.
round?
The one at
This
the
is
start of
great.
every round, the one at the start of every session.
At the session, sorry.
One
Every
around.
round, we'll keep them to that.
I'll take it. Yeah.
And then, okay, so you rolled a natural 1. You were doing a bludgeoning attack.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, which one?
Mm-hmm.
I just picked up the wrong one.
You do the critical hits.
Whatever you
Yeah.
whatever you
That's fine. That's fine.
That's fine as well, you know.
Pick up the wrong one. A melee attack. Oops. So how was you doing your massage? Was this by hand or with the war flail?
Oh, I was massaging him with the flail.
Okay. So as you massage him with the flail, it goes in. And as you pull back, only the handle comes back. the war flail ball and the chain are just embedded into its shoulder. Now you have a stick.
How did that happen?
Did my weapon break?
Your
Is that
weapon
what it-
breaks, yeah. It's reduced to its broken threshold.
Massage.
Your weapon breaks.
I really should have used that hero point. Oh, all right.
Oh, that's great.
Well, here we are.
You are a legendary brony gnome fighter riding an ancient white dragon. Like, yeah, this is great.
What's the damage die on a stick?
You play fetch. Right. Okay, Yelena. Followed by Rupp.
Yelena has no idea that this just happened. But she's getting quite annoyed that she's not getting anywhere, so she's going to stand up. And then she's going to draw her staff back and fling it forward, and as she does so, an acid arrow springs from it towards the dragon, and maybe it'll hit.
Okay.
Maybe. 12 plus 16 is not going to hit, so never mind.
Okay.
I'm just going to think I'm just going to sit in the corner and think about what I've done.
Brony, an
But
acid
not done
arrow
in
just
this case.
whizzes past your head. takes out the stick.
It's got the stick in half.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Obviously, it doesn't.
It's a terrible day.
That's what happens when I run out of the internet. You see, I'll blame my players now. Yelena, anything else you can do?
She's just going to continue swearing.
In Orcish.
Anything.
Yeah.
In Orcish.
Okay, Rup, followed by Tolkus.
How do we feel about bending the rules very slightly?
I've
Because I have
always
something
bent the
funny.
rules, yeah.
Okay, right. I would like to cast. We haven't tried this before, but can our gnomish friend here wield a spiritual weapon, one of divine, the divine order?
If you wish him to.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try and summon a spiritual weapon of an even bigger flail, a more mighty flail, a glowing flail.
Is it Flail Prime?
It's Flail Prime.
Flail Prime.
So yeah, this does 2d8 damage, apparently.
Okay.
So you can wield it how you wish.
Make a note of that, Chris, please. 2d8.
Now people are going to think I'm compensating for something.
Exactly. It probably does less damage than your normal flail, but
So this flail, a magical glowing flail, just suddenly starts to grow out of your stick. It's like, ah! Where did this come from? Did you will this into existence? Did you just turn into the Green Lantern? Who knows? Let's find out.
Finally, it's my time.
Yes, I have been chosen.
By the will of my god, I summon your flail.
By the power of Gnome Skull.
Yeah. And with my remaining action, I would like to strike it again in my mech suit.
Okay,
please.
go ahead.
Another
sword flurry comes up.
Yeah.
I just love the idea that he's
that's
kind
a
of
nat
flailing
20.
around.
That's a nat 20.
Yay!
I like the way he grabbed his mic. It's a nat 20. It's a nat 20. Over. Come in. It's a nat 20. And this is piercing damage, or is this slashing damage? What kind of weapon are you using?
Slashing, I believe.
Slashing. Okay. Ooh. Okay, you deal an additional 1 dice of damage. So
Okay.
add an extra die of damage to that.
And that's doubled?
It's doubled, yes, as criticals.
Okay.
So you basically get double damage plus an extra dice roll.
10, 13, plus 8, 21.
And a calculator.
Yeah, 52 points of damage.
Wow.
Nice.
Everybody's chunking this thing down.
It's fine. I'm not. I've done absolutely nothing.
As my my star knife spins with almost on its own and spins and starts to tear like a buzzsaw.
Oh, it's doing a crawl. Have you seen the film Kroll, Rob?
No, I haven't.
Homework, bank holiday weekend, watch the film Kroll, you'll love it. It spins and like...
Yeah,
if you can find it.
Yeah.
I think it's on telly every weekend.
Yeah.
Right. As the gauntlet itself starts to spin the star
Whoa.
into the dragon. Yeah.
I was just thinking of the evil robot from the Black Hole. It sort of spins its bladed fists around. Right, cool.
I have no control. I'm trying.
Tolkus, you are up.
Right. Tolkus is even more vexed at that leg. He wants to try and take that whole leg off. So he's going to basically do 2 baseball bat style swings at that leg.
Okay.
Just lumber.
Yeah, he's a good lumberjack. Boom.
Yeah, he's just treating it like an oak tree that needs to come down to make way for the summer house at the end of your garden.
Are you going to spit in your hands, get a good stance?
Yeah, it's 18 on the dice, not a critical, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, and it's the axe is particularly crackling with the energy of lightning, and there's a lot of dice across my screen.
Swing.
It's 48 total for the first one, and I'll follow that up with a brutal finish. And it's another 18 on the dice. Why can't I roll a flipping critical?
You're doing 100 damage a turn.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's not necessary.
You did as much as I did with a crit.
And that is a paltry 34.
Oh, don't describe it like that,
No.
Jeff. Come on.
That's like skanky damage.
What's the dragon looking?
Right, that will be single figures.
I bet his leg's not looking good.
It's looking really bad. It's the top of the round. The dragon feeling quite distressed now. It can't see. It still can't see. Its leg is burning. There's something on its back, and it starts to, as it unfurled its wings the previous round, it starts to, and it leaps up with its one good leg.
Back.
Its right leg is just dangling off below the knee as all the blood is kind of pouring out of it. And Brony is just holding on with his big muscly legs and whacking it with this holy war flail as it starts to take off. With one last go, it uses its breath weapon. So everyone who's on the floor, can you make a reflex saving throw, please? How many? Bloody hell! I read that wrong.
I'm going to use my reaction to use premonition and avoidance. So anyone within 10 feet of me gets a +2 to their. So that's.
Oh, so that's cool.
That will be the Red Dragon and Yelena. Unfortunately, not Tolkus.
Oh, okay. Okay, be like that.
That's 33 for Yelena.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, 33 is a fail.
Bugger.
44 from Mr. Rupp.
Okay, 44 is a pass.
32 for me, so that's a fail as well.
32 is a fail.
How did the dragon do? Because you're not looking very happy, Steve.
Steve, did you pass or fail?
Well, I've rolled a natural 1, so it's a fail.
Okay, yeah, this is great. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's great.
You get PP coin. Oh no.
Oh no, because I used that on the previous one that I rolled on the same throw.
I am also going to use D&D Beyond to roll my dice. I read this wrong. The very first breath weapon I used, I read it wrong. I thought it was 6d6.
No, it should be like 16d6.
It's 16d6. So I'm now going to roll that with plus the modifier. Is it working? Did it work?
My reflex save was a nat 20. Is that a critical? Is a critical success? Hope so.
I'd like to use a reaction
Here we
to
go.
cast scintillating safeguard.
Okay, so that is 60.
You don't get hit, Brony, though.
60 points of damage. Everyone got hit apart from Brony, I think.
Yeah, that's okay. I
60.
minus 10 off that because of greater cold, whatever it was, resilience. So it's 50, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you fail as well?
Is 60 points of damage.
Right, so I got a critical fail.
Yeah.
Because it was a 1.
Critical fail.
I think that doesn't apply though, does it? The dex, or is there saving throws on there as well?
No, this is for the attack, but I was
Right,
just seeing if there's something funny.
Well, no, but the critical fail on a saving throw on a basic reflex save, is that double damage?
Yes, on a critical, so that's 120.
Right, so I need to roll fortuitous shift.
Yeah.
To survive.
Important one.
120.
I've rolled an 11. So that reduces the damage by 14, so I take 106 points of damage.
So what happens? You're in dragon form, though.
I'm in dragon form, but it's my hit points.
He's-
Dragon form gives me 10 temporary hit points. So with the damage that I've already taken, I've got 119 hit points.
Right.
Wow.
So I avoided death because of fortuitous shift. So
That's what it's meant for.
So
I'm now on 15 hit points.
As the dragon takes off, the red dragon takes the brunt of the breath weapon, and everything else gets it as it kind of shoots around it.
Is he invoking an attack of opportunity?
He is, yes.
I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to offer you, I'll take a minus 10 to hit if you let me throw my great axe at him.
You can throw your great axe, yeah.
Yeah. Right. It is a 15 on the dice, which means
That will hit.
That's a
I think.
5.
With your minus 10.
Yeah. Is that a hit? What was his armor class?
His armor class is
36.
36.
No, it misses. It's 35.
So you heave back. You throw it.
Well, no, it'd be up, wouldn't it? He was flying up. So I've
Miss
sort
it.
of gone like an underarm.
Oh, you got him. Boom.
Like that. Yeah.
And it goes up.
Hey.
It misses.
Yeah, you gotta catch it.
Yeah, I'll catch it when it comes back down.
Brony!
I'll do a reflex save to catch it.
Take this.
Okay, so you throw your axe away.
So I can get an attack of opportunity as well, can't I?
You can.
I don't know. Can you?
Don't know.
Telling or asking? Because I know normally only fighters get attack of opportunity in Pathfinder.
Then I don't, because it
Are
doesn't say
dragons
that.
fighters?
I think they are.
Are dragons fighters?
Well, do dragons get attacks for opportunity?
I don't know. That's a good point. Don't know about monsters. Only know about PCs.
It doesn't say specifically, so we'll say no.
Right, so you...
Brony would if he wasn't riding on his back.
As the dragon starts to fly up into the air with this huge gust of wind, it starts to blow all the snow around you, making it really hard for Yelane. It makes it really hard, and Tolkus, for you to see properly. Tolkus, you throw up your axe, but you miss. You know you've missed. You just wait for it to come back down. And Brony, you hold on tight as the elevated dragon takes flight and slowly just turns around in the air and heads back to its cave. It's in the open mouth of this giant carved face in the side of the mountain. And everyone below, you see it disappear into.
How far
the
does
cave.
it go in around?
It's quite slow, but it's vertical, so it's at least 200 feet up to get to the cave entrance.
So it's gone 200 feet. It's 200 feet away from us.
I think because it's blowing all the air down to you and the snow's going all around, it's going to be hard for you to do anything. But what do you want to do?
I want to, sorry, Brony, cast lightning bolt.
Go for
which
it.
has 120 foot range.
Go for it.
So I.
I would also like to do something.
I'm gonna hold up a metal stick to serve as a lightning rod.
Can you roll a basic reflex save?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
But you still take half damage.
Ooh, I rolled high. It is 45.
Yeah, that saves. But you still take half damage.
Okay.
So, not the greatest roll in the world, I'll be honest. A 1, a 2, a 5, and a 4 on d12s. So take 6 points of lightning damage.
6.
Oh, I've finally done some damage to the dragon. Because I've reached my hand up. Oi, where the fuck do you think you're going?
What was the DC?
DC is 32.
Brony is attached to the dragon, so he also gets electric damage as it conducts through him.
I got a 26, so that's
12 points of damage.
Alright, that's fine.
You're riding it and
Can I try and cast a spell as it goes away?
Go for it, yeah, if it's in range.
Yeah, so I drop out the armor. I just try to. So as I point straight at the dragon and cast Finger of Death.
I can't help but feel you could have opened with that.
It's better if it closes with that, because it might just, if it kills it instantly, we got this. So
it's a mic drop.
Please make a fortitude save for me.
Fortitude. Wow.
Is it still in the air?
Yeah.
I got 34. It's still kind of it's still climbing at this point. Otherwise, it's going to disappear into the cave. So.
Is that a fail?
You got a 34.
No, that's a success. Just.
Oh. It was a good plan.
So we're level 14, right?
Yeah. So you aim your finger, you see it, and
but it still does 35 damage.
That's still good. That's still good. It still counts. Every
so you see as this, as Rut points his finger in the direction, just goes, and piss off. And this green energy starts to flow out of his the green energy and lightning bolt starts to flow out of his hand, and it narrowly escapes. I assume. I don't know how much it had left, but yeah,
it's missed, so it survives. And the last thing you see is Brony. Go.
I've got a fly speed of 100.
Oh, you're going to take off after it? Okay, go for it.
Yeah, dude.
Can I also be wailing on it during this time? Do I got time to be making attacks?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
I'll let Bronny do his attacks.
Because what I want to do a power attack with this new holy weapon.
You see as it starts to rotate in the air, as you go, oh, it's taking me back home.
41?
You're a takeaway snack. 41 hits.
So with a power attack, so now this is just 2d8. Do I just add 2 extra die?
Yeah, probably
Okay.
D8s, yeah.
So 48.
Plus 8, right?
Yeah. Okay, those aren't terrible. These are terrible, but those aren't terrible. 28.
It's good. Good
20 damage, yeah.
It took me a power attack to almost do what you guys are doing on the regular.
Explain what you're doing. How are you riding the dragon with the war flail?
I've just got Doctor Strange love ending.
As this magical, as this holy flail, as this like sacred like ball comes out of the end of the stick. I'm just gonna like look at it, like fixate, and Brony's just gonna say, I knew I was made for this. And just like swing it over his head and like with 2 hands like bring it like down like between the wings.
Okay, so so what happens? The dragon is kind of rotating in the air, getting a better angle so it can get to the safety of its home, its cave, its bed.
Oh.
Brony sees this, and with all the strength he can muster, and with the holy weapon, brings the flail out for one last go. Boom! You are 2 points over its health. You crash into it, the spine where the shoulder blades are, and you feel it crack, and the wings just go limp, and it comes crashing to the ground.
And you can see the flail is like there's static and sparks almost out of as it's coming out of range.
It starts to get weaker. The whole
is take off.
Rather than about to hit, it just disappears.
You can try and catch.
Catch Bronny as I zoom past.
Go for it. Let's do. What should we do? Reflex or athletics check?
He's all right. It's your big. You can land on your big arms.
Yeah. There's snow here. I'm actually pretty good at falling.
The white dragon just holds itself in the air for like a split second. It's just paused. You can see the wings are no good anymore, and then it just with Brony holding on top.
Yeah. So I just want to take off.
Yeah. You dart up,
up, and then just snatch him off the back of the white dragon.
Go for it. Just roll high, Steve.
Right.
Just roll high.
So an athletics check, I believe.
How high up were we?
You were 200 foot up. So if he doesn't catch you, it's going to be like 100 points of damage as you crash to the ground.
Well, the good news is I can take
33.
25 feet off of that.
So that
33.
33, you pass. Okay, so the red dragon darts off. He manages to grab Brony mid-flight after he's just starting to descend. How do you want to grab him? Just claws? Mouth? What are you doing?
I think it's got to be claws. I'll just snatch him out of the air with my front paw. No, the rear paw. Snatch him out of the air with the rear paw. And then circle round the mountain doing the dragon noises. And then as soon as round number 4 ticks over, I'm just going to breathe fire.
Okay. And so you see this ancient white dragon, its wings fold, its eyes still dazzled, its bones are now broken, the inside skeleton is broken, the knee is hanging off as it crashes into the ground. The bottom of where these stairs are that takes up, they're all covered in like sharp stalagmites, whichever the ones that grow up. And it just, whatever's still there, it just impales itself. A huge wave of snow and ice just filters up as it hits Tolkis, Yelena, and Rupp. But Brony is safe in the clutches of a red dragon as it circles above.
We weren't meant to be off the ground.
And there we will leave today's session.
Yay!
Hey.
Well done.
That finger of death would have killed it if he hadn't saved.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to just like it to dematerialize it, disintegrate it.
That's what I wanted. I
and
really
Brony
wanted
just
it.
falls out the air.
Yeah. His finger death basically, it doesn't disintegrate, does it?
No, it means that they instantly die. Like literally,
Yeah.
like any of the PCs just
There's
instantly
no
die.
death saves or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How many death saves did the dragon fail when it fell 200 feet?
We won't. Well, maybe it will come back. Maybe we'll find out next week. But yeah, it's dead.
Oof.
Dead and gone. Well done, guys.
That was close.
That was good.
If only,
Yeah.
if only this. I mean, I will send you the photos tomorrow so you can all see it. This is. I love doing the setup. If only it all worked, but you know, technology worked against us this session. But thank you everyone for playing on and recording this. This was great. Thank you to Chris, our guest from Dwarven Forge, for joining us.
Thank you, Chris.
Hopefully we'll see. Well, we'll be seeing you again soon anyway, on our various other shows, and hopefully the internet will continue to work. I'll
We'll
phone
get
up
some
the
internet back.
It's on the internet.
We'll see.
Terminally on the internet.
We'll see who else is on. But thank you everyone. Thank you very much. And we're going to leave it there, and we'll see you again soon. Just check out if you're obviously watching this on YouTube. Check out our other shows on the next episode because you know I don't know when you're watching this. This could be the future. This could be 2022.
Probably the future.
It probably is the
Can't
future.
watch it in the past.
Yeah,
That's also true.
This is only being uploaded to the future.
Yeah. So we'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.